Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we are back and we are once again returning to the Tricks of the Trade. We start a new season here on Encounter Roleplay and once again, it seems like the cameras have screwed themselves up a little bit, but Josh will be our Dungeon Master for tonight. How's it going, Josh? How you doing?
Me and Will had an interesting conversation earlier. I had a weird thing. For those of you who watched Will's Imperator campaign, I'm house hunting at the moment, and literally I went to see a house, and as I walked around the block, every single road round this house was named after one of our Imperator campaign main characters or main villains. And I got all the group back together, and I was like, guys, season 2 confirmed, and everyone went wild. So it's true. It's trending.
It's absolutely bizarre experience, yeah. Griff's asking in the chat. So, Josh, why don't you give us the kind of elevator pitch for Tricks of the Trade? What's going on tonight?
Hey there. So, have you ever wondered if you could be part of Encounter Roleplay? Well, you know what? You damn well can. This is it. Live the life you want to live.
Wow,
yeah.
as an elf.
That's the elevator pitch. And then you get the sort of like awkward, like we both go to get out and then we realize it's not our floor, and I'll give you the extended pitch.
Gotcha. Yeah, the staircase pitch. Yeah.
The staircase pitch. We awkwardly walk to the same office. Tricks of the Trade is it's a new sort of expansion on the old West Marches campaign that's been running. It's one of our longest running campaigns. And that is thanks to you guys in chat. We get a load of people who come along and watch the show, and you get to play and you get to create crazy characters and sort of be part of this ever-growing world. The world we're currently in is called the New Heartland, and it's a colony world. It's this land that has just been colonized, and there are natives there. There are people who already existed out there a long time ago, haven't been heard from in ages. So you've sort of been sent out. You're doing some exploration and stuff, and things have not gone particularly well. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
There's been dragons. There has been dungeons. There's been pigs. There's been Steve Irwin. There has been calamity. Oh boy, it's been emotional. It's been traumatic, and it's been these things because of some of our wonderful people who have come along and taken part and will. So, without further ado, let's meet some of those people.
Very true. Let's do that. So let's find out who we are, who we're playing, and all that good stuff. So let's start in the corner there. Mr. Arvin Elleron, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, how's everyone doing? Welcome.
Very good. Tell us about Kandaf today.
I am playing a monk, a wood elven monk called Candath Elatine, who is a hermit who has spent much of his life on his own. And that's good because in real life I will have to bug out of here about an hour early and so himself return to the land earlier than he would have otherwise intended. With apologies, but in real life, I may have a daughter's dance performance to go to. So sorry, but that is made very clear to me where my priorities ought to lie. Anyway, he is a monk of the open hand, and this is fun. I think last time I played on this channel with you, Will, was like 6 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was.
We ended up having a big battle with Nickelback, so I imagine just as great.
And Tia Chick, a giant chicken creature. Yeah, fantastic. And we have Mr. Zippy Zippo back today. How's it going, Zippy?
Hey, how you guys doing? What I don't know how to speak today. I did no ability to speak. I'm playing Shallot Weatherfields, the forest gnome wizard with his talking companion Ramses, and we're hoping to get some chaos going today. Unintentional, but some chaos.
We're hoping for unintentional chaos.
Harmless chaos.
Oh man, fantastic. We've got Valdriam back today. How's it going, Val?
Hey, how's it going back? This is like my first time here.
Oh shit!
So I am playing Pookie. She is a dragonborn rogue, and the reason her name was Pookie is because she was actually raised as somebody's pet, and she used her for these nobles, and so the children named her Pookie. But she was able to escape, and she traveled for a little while. She really, really loves animals to the point that she refuses to eat them. So she is a vegetarian, but just because she likes animals doesn't always mean that they like her.
This is true. This is true, as I have discovered in the past. Fantastic. We have Mr. Brian from Addicted to Loot back today. Well, I say
everybody.
back. I keep saying back.
How's everyone doing? Back for the very first time.
Yeah. How do you do that? Went to the future. That's how we did it.
Exactly.
So, Brian, tell us about your character tonight.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to be playing Visgar Grega of Clan Beladrin. He is a Dwarven Ranger, very old Dwarven Ranger, kind of caked in wrinkles and scars and all sorts of things. He is actually part of a clan that is in charge of patrolling and guarding a Dwarven mine down up in a mountain. So he's actually very much a patrolman. He's more of an outlander. He spends most of his time by himself patrolling the woods and the mountains around the area where his family is sworn to protect.
Wow, fantastic. And as fine part, I will be playing Finbar the Bard today. The most famous bard in all the lands is granted to him by a genie via wish form in a different life or in a different place. But in this place, no one knows who Finbar is. And so he's looking to reclaim his fame via his band Finbar and the Finbards. And he's a arrogant so-and-so, but he is beautiful. This much is unashamedly true. So whilst he may...
a very ugly individual when you consider...
Yes, if you'd consider his personality, he would be a very ugly man.
Does anybody really consider that, though? I mean,
exactly. He's
anymore, right?
like me. He's a
Exactly.
D&D sex icon. So, that's Finbar. So, Josh, take us away, my friend, into Tricks of the Trade.
Indeed. Well, we had an interesting thing happen in the last episode. You ran into your old foe. Now there's this legend that surrounds Finbar, the legend of the Galgatron. Now,
Yes.
Will, can you give some grounding to this legend? Things that people might have heard through your tales throughout the years. What is a Galgatron,
Well,
Finbar?
some would say it is a creature of great girth and great fearsome power, and I would be amongst those, for Finbar the Bard is the only person in the universe, nay, the multiverse, capable of destroying such a dread beast. Others may call this scaled winged nightmare a dragon, but not I, for I decided when I saw it for the first time over 2 years ago to name it Le Galgatron, for reasons which are unremembered. Now, the shrouded in mystery and lore. But we have encountered one, although it seems to have taken a different form. It may mean that it's not entirely a Galgatron, or they may have adapted since last our meeting, but in its current form it would appear to be one very sexy lady.
It's almost as if they have evolved.
Yes, they're learning.
An enemy. That is Finbar. Because if there is one thing that would screw Finbar, it is a very sexy lady.
Yeah, so like as far as I remember, we kind of came to the cave and we were like about to fuck up this dragon, and it's like, oh, it's not a dragon, it's this lady, right?
Indeed. And that is the last thing Finbar remembers.
He's ever saw.
Ever. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, good show, guys.
I had to get Will along just to host a stream. He's just going to sit there quietly while the rest of us play.
Okay.
The omnipotent narrator.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have arrived in a new world. Some of you have been here a little while. Some of you have just arrived, and for whatever reason, maybe it's a way to escape a crime that was you committed back on the mainland, and it's either go to the new land as an adventurer, as an explorer, or face punishment here. Maybe it was because you were seeking a life of fortune. Maybe it's some great honor. Maybe it is just you have adventuring in your blood. But something has brought you to this new land, and there's a little bit of commotion this morning. Some people have started rousing the villagers of this small fishing village that's coming along quite nicely. There's a little bit of fire damage to it. There's sort of like the burnt wreckage of a barn, but other than that, everything else is quite nice in the area. So they've done something about the smell. It no longer stinks to high heavens of fish. They've managed to sort of get the river flowing to a degree. They've got banks in that they've actually dug in. So, it's quite peaceful, this little stilted village, and they're looking to expand it. So you've got this quite wonderful aesthetic, and then it is all completely ruined by the sheer cacophony that is kicking off in the center of town. Now, in the center of the town, there used to be a great sort of like docking area for small fishing boats, not particularly large, but I mean it could fit quite a lot of small little almost think gondola type craft. And there they all are, people gathering, and people are making so much noise it's woken people in the village. And unfortunately, each and every one of you, bar Finbar, is going to be woken by this cacophony, as it appears something has been discovered in the center of town.
By the almighty Quill. Come on, Ramsey. There's something going on in town. Oh, gee, Shallot. Come on, just 5 more minutes. No, come on. We got to go.
Are we all in the same place, I assume, to begin with? Or are we were all woken separately in separate huts? Or
I think it's sort of, there's no real tavern as of yet. It's something, there's definitely a market here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it's not been, that void hasn't been filled. So everyone is sort of sleeping wherever you can. So
Okay.
I tell you what, we'll go around, we'll have a quick, where is everyone? We'll start with Shallot and Ramsey. Ramsey and Shallot, where have you decided to, where's Ramsey decided to sleep, and where has Shallot just followed him? Because we all know Ramsey is the main character here.
Ramsey probably would have flaunted the fact that he saved the tumbling cliffs and whatnot, and gotten like a free room in the inn, and then Shallot's just like laying at the foot of the bed while Ramsey's all snuggled up in like this giant king-sized bed.
Yeah, there's quite a large. It's not the most lavish of rooms, but I mean the bed is sumptuous to say the least. It's large, it's plush, and Ramsey takes up maybe an eighth of it at tops. And then there's Shallot just in the most uncomfortable, like on a stool, no back support or anything, just trying to desperately sleep. And you guys are awoken by a cacophony that's kicking off outside.
Oh boy, there's somebody discovered something. We gotta get the others. Oh, Shallot, just let them sleep. You guys, you know what? Why don't you go grab everybody, and I'll stay here for about 5 more minutes. Okay. So I run out and I start banging on doors. Guys, they found something.
Are these people you have met, or are you just waking everyone in your building? Like, it doesn't matter.
Every hut.
Just go around banging on every door.
He's banging the doors. He's like, he's the informal town crier. He's trying to get the news out to everybody.
I like that. Like you will imagine, like about 5 minutes past, like everyone's like already like got clothes on, sort of like started to shrug into armor if they're wearing it. Boots are laced up. They get to the door, they open it. The town crier's there, like, "Oh, you're awake. What do you?" And he goes chasing off to try and find Shallot, who's he's poaching his career. I mean, it's not okay. But you guys are awakened by this lunatic who is just hammering on your door for a brief moment, making you aware that there is a discovery in the center of town.
Pookie's gonna go ahead. She's gonna wake up. Does the town crier, is she with you, or did he stay behind?
The town crier would probably be already at your door trying to wake you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not you. You're not the one yelling at us. Okay.
I'm running up and down like the halls and the stairs and stuff.
Okay.
Like a kid on Christmas.
You're just like knocking on the kitchen door and like the toilet, like places where no one. Just like, have you heard the news?
So Pookie, who, she probably attempted to sleep in the barn with the horses to begin with, and then they denied her that. So she ended up getting like a tent or whatever where they're allowed to, like, the majority of the sleepers are, and she walks out and to the wide open, and she's like, The barn's on fire. Okay.
The barn has it's not quite. It's still smoldering, but it burnt out a little while ago.
But she thinks it's on fire, and then she kind of freaks out because I'm assuming that the horses are in there or the cows.
There were pigs. There were
pigs in there. Oh my god!
Yeah.
She is like. Then it clicks with her that the pigs were in there, and so she just runs to the barn. She's gonna go rescue the pigs.
Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone is running in completely the opposite direction of you, like
Yeah.
completely. But you're muscling your way through, desperate to save these poor, docile but proud, noble creatures.
Yes, and they're cute.
They are so cute. They are the cutest. And as this all kicks off, everyone else sort of like ends up sort of being summoned to this center town. There's not like most town centers you'd imagine would have something raised. So there'd be like a stage, there'd be a plinth, there'd be a statue, there'd be a place of commerce. Here it's kind of the opposite. Here you have a sunken floor which leads down to the river beneath, and there is something that has been caught in a large fishing net. This net has been put in place in the feeble attempts to catch. Now the river is flowing again. It's not stagnant. They're hoping that they might catch a fish or two. But so far, the only thing that has been caught is a body. Finbar, you have been caught by a fishing net. You are slightly confused, perplexed, unconscious, like you've just woken up. Everyone will be able to see that Finbar is covered in what looks like some kind of sores. He looks particularly unwell. He's pale. He looks a little bloated. He's got these red marks everywhere upon his skin, and like a pox has been laid upon him. It's pretty grim stuff.
Oh dear. What's going on? Where is that one wench from before? The boots. I remember the boots, and now I'm here, so that must... No, I don't have anything. Do you all know... Who are you all?
Do we have an array of of villagers just surrounding or horrified, backing away from the bloated, sore-covered thing, or like
people actually just seem sort of disappointed, mildly annoyed. Everyone is just woken up. This is not a morning town. No. People here are just like
bored. Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
A couple of people seem to recognize this individual. His fame does sort of precede him.
Finbar the Bard. Yes, I'll sign your autographs later. Is this the same village that I think it is? What's it called? Haven Docks, Realport. One of those two. Realport. Is this Realport right now?
A particularly gruff-looking fisherman with sort of waders on. He's got sort of surly hands, a miserable, dour-looking face. Sort of plods over, quite heavy set. Looks down and just says, "Aye, this be Realport." And he pushes down what looks to be a harpoon, but it does have a hook attached to it. And he tries to sort of he gently sort of gropes in your general direction, trying to snag something so he can drag you in.
He's going to give me a bottle of port. Okay, I'll get reeled by him as he gropes somewhat aimlessly for me and pull myself in. I'm not quite sure what happened. I was off to kill a Galgatron, and you still haven't put out these fires. It's been like days. Are those pigs still dying, or is this a new fire? How long has it been?
Good question.
Well, when did I leave? How long ago since I left?
I don't know how to tell you this, laddie. You've been gone for some time.
Well, yes, I know some time. How much time? I'm exactly looking for the unit of measurement from how long I have been gone. I know that some time has passed. That much is
clear. You went far
clear.
onto yonder.
Yes. That is a... that is, again, not a measurement of time. That is a
You'd be lost
distance.
to the ages.
How long? How many ages are we speaking here? Is it the second age again? Has it come full circle?
It'd be known as the second age.
Second
And the
age.
third and the fourth. For all time is it? And then someone just shoves this crazy old man aside and says, "You've been gone about a week."
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're weak.
Damn it! Did I miss the changing of the ages again? I always miss New Age Day, New Age Eve. Fine, a week. That sounds about right, maybe. But I must have been floating around in that water for some time. Now,
Yes, you look pretty sick, mate.
well.
You're still just sort of floating like tangled in a net at this point.
Yes. I'm gonna continue to float while speaking to him. I'm like slowly like turning around, so I have to like shout to get her.
I was really waiting for Finbar to just be like, 5 more minutes, roll over and drown. And he just like rolls over.
I'm just slowly floating away from the guy. So, what set that fire? Was it the Galgatron again?
No, it's just the heat.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't mind me getting me out of here, that would be great.
Before we do that, more sad all over you. Looks like some kind of pox or plague.
Yes, it would appear that my proclivities have caught up with me somewhat.
Roll me a medicine check, Finbar.
Okay.
See if you know.
Just how many STIs do I have?
All of the STIs, yeah. We're gonna start off with a good time, yeah.
Medicine is a 10.
10. It's not looking good, Finbar.
Mm-mm. I need a doctor.
This could indeed be Galgopox.
Oh no.
Which is the worst. But it's slightly better than the other disease you had. I'm sure I don't need to remind you.
Oh no. Let us not speak of the screaming herpes. Now...
yeah, you sort of like pat yourself down and it's looking pretty bad, and you sort of worry one of the darker patches, and it's really tender, and then it's this sort of angry red mark.
Ooh.
You rub that and it comes off in your hand. It's like your skin is melting away, and then you realize you are absolutely covered in hickeys and kiss marks.
Oh, wait.
A pirate's knife for me.
I take that back. I do not need a healer. Hold the healer. I don't know what I need.
More of the same.
I need to remember what happened, because I don't remember, and looking at myself, I rather think I want to. I'll call out to the crowd. Does anyone here remember?
Does anyone remember?
I have the image of the old guy steps back in front. I do remember. Now to bring it up.
It was a second age.
'Twas long ago.
Have I talked about the...
It's about 5 minutes past.
I want that guy to be our mascot.
If not, I will settle for a band of... Charlotte!
Oh God.
It's me.
I peer over like the edge of the hole. You guys didn't find anything new. You just found a formerly sexy half-elf bard.
Hey, I'll be sexy again. It's just sometimes you need a break. Once I put some clothes on, it'll mostly just be my face, which is horribly disfigured. So there's that. Charlotte, would you mind helping me out of here for our friendship in the past?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me go find Ramsey. Ramsey just kind of like trots up and looks down over the hole. Oh, damn. What happened to him? He looks like he got... Ooh. Come on, Ramsey. I'm going to tie the slack of this rope to you, and you're going to help pull Finbar out. Oh, like hell you are.
I really just need someone to tie a rope to something and let it down. I can do the rest. It's fine. This doesn't need to take a whole age.
You can't call that thing something. That's be a person if it can talk.
Yeah.
You've obviously incensed this.
This incredibly sensitive man when it comes to sheep. He's part of Peter.
Do not trigger him.
Do not test me. Do not test me, boy.
Shallot picks up like the slack of the rope, and he kind of like looks up at this like the big burly talking sailor, and he kind of like looks at the big strong arm, and he like ties the end of the rope to it. There, something sturdy.
He sort of like, he sees it and he's just like, how very dare you? I'll have no part in getting him out. And he starts to walk away. And as he walks away, he obviously pulls Finbar out of the water. But it's not his intent. And he wants you to know that he's storming off. He's not helping. Okay? Do not misunderstand. Do not read into this something else. This is not an act of charity, you bastard.
I will come up out of the hole eventually, and thank you, Charlotte and Ramsey.
Does he keep going because the man doesn't actually stop? So he's like, as he's saying this, he's like sliding out of the hallway, like, thank you so much.
That was now something strange happened back there. I was meeting the Galvatron face to face, but she was no beast of. And I'll tell this around like the assembled group who are, in Finbar's mind listening. It was no great beast of ages as I was expecting, for I was the only one who could have defeated such a thing. But it seems in a way I did defeat the Galvatron. And I kind of motioned to my wounds, my battle scars. For that is one beast who will not be rising again, shall we say.
You mean you can't get it to rise again?
No, anyway,
We'll explain the look of you.
And who are you, dear sir?
Someone that's been woken up way too early for this. I just kind of gesture around for something that was nothing more than some thing in a net.
I am more
you
than...
Flatlanders are weird.
I am more than something.
Do you do tricks?
I do tricks. Tricks of my trade. But I am the most famous bard whom you will ever encounter. My name is Finbar. I would say it's a pleasure to meet you, but quite frankly, I'd be lying.
Same.
Where
I'm from, the bards don't look like they're covered in what looks like a very rowdy night with a bunch of orcs.
Well, that's probably because the bards back home don't have very rowdy nights of bunches of orcs.
You speak truthful. You got me there. It won't happen again. And I kind of like tap my staff towards him.
Okay.
Oh. What exactly is going on? Says a figure in the crowd. Where did you come from?
I came from the
From the tip.
the exact that was unintentional. I came from about here on
You're
the
not helping yourself.
somewhere
Finbar.
on this map. It was in the forest. There were elves, the elven lands. I was with this buxom lass. Her name was Marie. Yes. And I was there along with Winky Slipfoot, and we were investigating the Galvatron. We went in with a force of elves, and then there was this beautiful maiden, whom I can only assume I made love passionately to, and now I'm here. I remember little else.
Shallot kind of looks over at Ramsey. That sounds like one of the books that you read, Ramsey.
Well, I write those books, my friend. It is a shame that my paramour, who was so infatuated with me, Marie, can no longer be here, for I fear she is dead. But most likely she died for a broken heart after thinking I was dead.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, it is. And hopefully she's out there somewhere, but not anywhere near to be able to confirm my story.
Hope that she's a good distance.
Hopefully she's okay, but mute entirely.
Yes. Okay, but far away.
At this point, Pookie has decided that the remaining pigs are safe, and they might have been afraid of her. I'm not sure. And she walks outside and she sees everybody gathered, and she's just gonna be like, "Oh look, humans!" And she just walks over, and she kind of heard a good bit of that, and she's crying at the thought of Finbar's Marie being dead.
Oh, yes.
Like, she's sobbing, like, uncontrollably.
And who might you be, dear child?
Hi, I'm Pookie. That was the saddest best story that ever.
Yes. Yes, it is,
You
but
poor thing. And she just goes and she just gives you a hug.
I'm really moving on quite well from the whole ordeal, thank you.
Yeah. You might be lifted slightly off the ground because she's 6'2".
Oh! Holy Marie. That is,
Holy Marie.
Holy Marie. Son of... Anyway, thank you. Thank you for your caring.
Yeah.
Your caring. What is your name? Oh, Pookie. No, Pookie, you said. Pookie, yes.
Yes, Pookie.
Fine name. Fine name. Well, like I said, I'm very much single now.
Okay.
Good.
Nailed it, Finbar.
I've been asleep for a week. Give a man a moment.
Do you need some coffee?
Yeah, well, I would love some.
Okay. Does anyone here know how to make coffee?
We're going for
She's
coffee
like asking
already.
the entire crowd.
Oi!
No.
Not here the best coffee.
Do not drink anything that man hands you.
I know how to make some delicious coffee. You know, you guys got the idea for coffee from us goats eating or sheep eating coffee beans. So yeah,
No.
yeah.
If
Holy
you
shit!
say so.
It's a talking sheep! And I'm gonna go, like, Pookie's just gonna go and, like, hug the sheep.
I do say, Shallot, help me! This giant dragon is trying to kill me.
No! And she just, like, sets him back. He's like, I'm not trying to kill you. I love you.
Shallot.
Ramsey just pouring at the air, just coughing at nothing.
So this is the moment where Candath, who's been standing, as is his wont, at the edge of the crowd, sort of nodding, has that Homer GIF moment where he starts just kind of wanting to melt back into the hedge, like the crowd, but doesn't instead. And instead, I sort of narrow my eyes and look at all of the assembled people, most of whom I think I haven't met before this second, I'm guessing. And especially at Finbar, who I have never heard of because these kids and their music, and
Can't even hear the words anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like really. And so I step forward, and I kind of try to clear a path around me, but mostly because I'm standing far away, so no one's there anyway. And I step forward and I say, as I'm looking down at Finbar, and I say, "What message do you bring from the Aegis?"
The guy in the background, I look at him. Good
He's
question.
so triggered.
I bring a message of woe. For the end of times is cometh, and we must all band together and buy my merchandise round the campfire to grow courageous with one another, for there may be more Galgatrons out there in the mists of the beyond ages. Yes.
Roll me a performance.
It's all a work in progress, really. But I am not very persuasive in this regard.
A couple of people just like, right.
One slow clap, right?
Yeah, one guy's like, yeah.
Same crazy guy.
Telling the truth.
Right, and so my eyes not having moved said, "Do not dishonor the message you would send. Speak it truthfully and leave out the merchandising."
Truth be told, I am unclear on the message. It seems as though this message has been obscured to me by the gods, and it appears to me that it is my quest to learn of what has happened, to uncover the truth.
Your quest as to what has happened.
Well, I'm like I say, I'm just drinking my coffee right now. But after I've taken
That is not part of your quest.
fine.
There is no mention of lattes in your
Will
quest.
not come up again.
What is this Americano you speak of?
I'm gonna deny him coffee. You're so mean.
Thank you, Pookie. Thank you. That was more of a side quest. I suppose this one is find out who the buxom lass who gave this terrible series of bites to me is, and what she wants, and if she is indeed, as I suspect, the herald of the end times.
So,
I nod and I cross my arms and I say, "Very well. I await the moment for this quest to begin."
Yes. This is literally like, who was that girl last night, man? What's her number? Can we?
No, I know. I'm just looking for a quest. Is all my guy wants to do. So I'm just waiting.
Yeah,
for the quest.
Finbar's down. Like this
Merchandising.
plays right into his hands.
the crazy old man finally opens the bottom half of his door. He's got like one of those stable doors that like the top half opens. He's just been like opening it and yelling violently through it and then slamming it shut. But finally the door swings open. Smoke pulls out from within, and he comes out smoking a pipe, sort of shrouded in shadow, despite the early hour of the day, the bright light. He seems to remain in the shroud, and he says, it appears you be having a quest to find what was once known and re-know it for the sake of the ages. Be that right, laddie?
I can only agree for fear of you and of the ages.
Aye. But beware. Retreading previous footsteps may lead to unforeseen remembrance. Do you follow me, laddie?
I follow you as far as...
Follow you, laddie.
Ah, yes. I see of what you speak now, as if it were as clear as the rays of rosy-fingered dawn touching upon the treetops of this fine canopy forest.
And as he's sort of standing there, you see a woman come out and sort of close the door behind him, so he's now locked out, as apparently he doesn't live there.
No, you're not allowed here, Hal. You're not allowed here.
No more. No more, sir.
We've been over this.
And he just breathes out a heavy plume of smoke, and it sort of obscures him, and he just says, "Be seeing you soon, laddie." And the smoke slowly clears.
Oh my goodness.
He's still just standing there. Bollocks. And then he just runs flamboyantly down the street and round a corner. And
You just watch him run out of the village and like over a hilltop.
I just shake my head and just like, amateur.
Well, that's a weird lot. Do folks around here like that?
Well, some of us, yes. We're a work in progress here.
We do be, says another completely.
No! Now listen. It appears to me that one way or another there is a quest here, and it is of vital significance not only to my own personal sexual life, but also to the ages as well. So, it seems to me that everyone wins here. Everyone wins, indeed. Now, I will need a band of companions, for I always need lackeys in tales for which to reference, and in case one of them dies, I can write about them as if they were heroes, which, of course... They are not,
but... write them into the bridge, sir, for that melancholy bit, and where the song sort of takes a slightly different tone.
That's actually a good idea.
Jesus, this isn't it?
Ah.
Now, I will need, as I mentioned, this band of companions. Now, Pookie, you're good at coffee, so you're in.
I need someone to make my latte.
I need a latte stat, so...
I need a latte lass.
A latte... That's... Well, yes. Oh, latte lad. Anyone will do, to be honest, as long as there's latte forthcoming. Now, you... are you a dwarf? I forget. Fizgard.
Have you not seen one before?
Well, I assumed because of your accent, but I thought you might be a very hairy child for a moment.
I just raise an eyebrow, and just with my walking staff, I just slowly ease it up to your forehead and just think.
I like the dink
I
of
know,
your staff,
child.
sir. I like the dink of your staff and the cut of your jib. So you're in as
Don't
well.
ever say that to me again, considering that could mean something very different.
I would be open to the idea. Now, and you,
I just quickly withdraw.
and you are an elf, no?
I stand and look down impassively.
You seem to be one learned in the ways of the ages. Are you not?
I am. You seem to be one learned in the ways of false disease.
I am.
Good. Then clearly our road lies together. And our road lies together. And I turn away and I say, I have chosen to accompany you on this journey.
Excellent, and I have
For
chosen...
my own inscrutable purposes. And then I stop.
And I have chosen to allow you to do this. Good.
I like that we all make our own independent decisions about what we did. Yeah, well, I also decided to go along next to you in parallel, but not in the group.
I'm not doing it because you asked me to. I'm doing it because I want to. And
I'm gonna head in this direction, and if you happen to follow me, that's on your head.
If my sword lands on your monster, look, I mean, that just worked out.
and you, Charlotte of the many onions, and Ramsay, will you be accompanying me upon this quest as we journeyed in days of yore?
Yes.
As in about 2 weeks ago.
He looks around. He's like, Ramsey, can we go? And then at this point, like, because nobody was paying attention to Ramsey, he kind of like pops like behind Shallot. Yeah, I guess we can go. You know,
Ramsey has a couple of little marks similar to what Finbar has. Behind, you just see one of the local working girls just fanning herself. She's just waving to Ramsey. He's a hero of the town, after all.
Them hooves.
Ramsey, are you into bipedals? Don't question the shape.
Are you bi? you into bipedals?
Oh my god.
There's a joke to be made there, but I think it breaches into satire.
Something sheep's clothing.
Well, excellent. As long as you will be journeying with us, and I feel as though we can only succeed. Now, how about that coffee?
I guess, come on, let's go get us some nice sheep brewed coffee. And he kind
Why
of
are we gonna brew the sheep? No, wait, that's the sheep talking. How do you still talk?
Yeah,
I
no
was-
one's ever questioned this.
Find it best
Ramsey
not.
stands up on like his two hind legs, and he kind of like grabs hold of his fleece, and he's like, "Well,
With what thumbs? I have been dying to ask. How is he doing this? Why is nobody panicking?
I'm terrified, but thinking about it is more terrifying than simply allowing this to happen.
we're
It's the
now."
most amazing thing in the world to Pookie, so just keep going.
When I was a young sheep, I died. And the love of this poor, poor gnome summoned what could only be a demon. He thought it was a djinn. And he brought me back to life, and he gave me the power of speech. And I've hated it ever since.
You don't like to talk? But you can have so many interesting conversations with so many interesting people.
Or not.
Man, I'm a sheep. Sheep don't talk.
Well, obviously they do.
Ramsey like goes over and like kind of like hops up and pats her on the head, and, like lands. All right, I like this one. She can stay.
Good.
She likes me.
It would appear so. Now, our journey lies far to the southwest, in the treetop home of the elves. Now, this might be something that you're good at, Kandaf. After all, I'm right in assuming you all know each other, correct?
And I sort of stare him down, and I'm kind of like, had I not spent much of my life isolated from my kind and all others, I would take offense at your clearly racist statement.
Good.
But since I have no interest in listening to a walking, talking, merchandising STD, and then I just sort
Hey,
of,
leave Ramsey alone!
Right. Well, no, I wasn't actually. At that moment, my eyes were tracing over to Ramsey, just like, and then I look back, I say, I will do what I can to use the power of the way to bring us forward, but not because of the elves, who I don't like any more than anybody else.
All right, so short story, you'll do it.
I sort of very well, and I turn away again, arms folded.
Good. Then
Let
let
me point
us.
out that, by the way, I've turned away 3 or 4 times
Yeah, he keeps turning.
on several occasions. It's sort of his go-to.
I keep turning. I keep moving around to the other side to like be facing you, and then you turn.
So I can turn around again. Right, exactly.
Oh man. Okay. Now, very well. Let us provision ourselves. Perhaps I believe there's a fine lass near here who has a merchant shop from which we can gather some supplies from. I will.
All right.
There may well be. It may have been burned down by now, but
You see there is a figure sort of set up. It's a similar. You've seen him before. He's a dwarf. He does some basic trading in and out of town. He gave you a lift once.
oh yes, this guy.
And he sat there, sort of feet kicked up on a market sort of stall, quite close to the edge of town, and he smiles to you. How's it going? What is it that you're looking for?
We're looking for travel and safe passage into the woodland realm.
Ah, fantastic. Good luck.
You're unavailable for such a task?
I mean, I'm not doing it for free, so you got any money?
I don't know. Let me check my pockets.
I haven't. You actually
Went on a bender.
don't have any gold. It was stolen by a small kobold. However, now you've checked your pockets, there is a small dead kobold in your pocket. He's red.
Ow.
He's just...
Oh god, it died.
What's the exchange rate these days on small dead kobolds? You
ask.
yeah, I mean,
There's a rather a cottage industry. It's kind of set up shop in town. Oh dear. I'm gonna put it back in for now.
Did Pookie see the dead kobold?
Roll me a perception.
Yeah, I would try and hide it. I think because it's
Roll me a sleight of hand, Finbar.
Yeah.
Try and hide the
More
fact you
out
have a
of-
dead thing in your pocket.
the smallest kobold of all time.
It's particularly it's. Don't question.
Kobold.
Okay.
We're questioning
Finbar
this, but not the
awfully-
sheep with thumbs. Don't push me. No, you
it's a
managed
kobold
to,
of the ages.
The sheep of the ages.
You pull out the kobold.
It's reborn.
Of whom, can you name that kobold?
I honestly don't remember what it's called. I've forgotten every single
You
week.
put it.
Cash money.
Cash money. It is cash money. You just put cash money back in. Unfortunately, finding no actual cash money.
Damn.
Indeed. And you stuff them back in your pocket. No one seems to
Oh,
know.
what is your price, good sir, for the safe passage?
I'll do you sort of reasonably safe passage.
Okay, yes, I'll take the reasonably safe package.
Would you like to upgrade to the slightly more secure?
Quite safe. Yeah. There's a kind of. There's the lower package is pretty safe. Yeah, pretty safe. Well, yeah. Okay, cut me a deal then. What are we talking here? Do you need? We can provide some of the protection, you see, because we have a band of adventurers here who, Visgard he's got a good staff on him.
How do you know my name?
I don't know, honestly. I think I overheard it.
Get out of my head! And I hit you over the head with a staff.
Damn it! Ah!
I'm watching you.
It's like a full-on.
I'm watching you.
Oh,
You
okay.
and the sheep.
Well, listen,
It
this.
wasn't very nice.
I agree.
You want one too, lass?
She kind of stands up, 6'2", and she's like,
And I'm a really short dwarf, so it's kind of hilarious. Like I have
and
to
I'm really
extend-
shiny, so probably the sunlight's like glaring off my skin. She goes, "I'll hit you back."
Good sir.
Looks to Finbar like, what is going on?
I'll let it go by now. For now, but you watch your back.
As I was saying, my companions are fearsome travelers, and so you will not need to provide guards. Simply a wagon and probably a horse or something. Maybe some food. Maybe some lattes. I don't know. It's just whatever the package is offering.
Here's what I'm willing to do for you.
Okay.
You can go to said Elven Kingdom, I'll give you a ride there. I'll give you one of our wagons. But in return, if you make it back, you're going to bring me back something that I want. See, there's a rumor going around that there's supposedly some tavern out in the middle of the forest that the elves keep all hush-hush.
I've been there. I know where it is.
There we go. Fantastic. So I want you to go to this tavern. I want you to break into this tavern. And I want you to find out how it is they blend whatever it is they blend there. Because I've heard rumors that it'll knock you for 6. So I want it.
Okay, the ale. Okay, I'll look into it. Elf, you look like you probably don't drink. Is that correct?
And I so, you know, you having got around to the other side of me where I was still the arms folded. And
you're like on a hilltop in the distance. I have to run over to you.
Right. I drink only memory and regret.
You just feel like the wind catching him as he stares off into the...
I do have... I should have pointed out that I do have long, wispy white hair and a really long, wispy white beard, sort of like trailing around me.
A fine vintage.
There's wind indoors always. At all
I was gonna say.
Around me, yeah.
I like the misery cocktail. Okay.
Sound very nice.
It doesn't really, does it?
Or does it taste very good either, probably.
I say, like, you get used to it.
I tell you what, dwarf. I will take your deal. I will guard the place, and I'll try and find out about this blend. We'll add it to our quest. This will be part of the quest of ages, to find the elven blend of brew that they have in the tavern there.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I was also asking.
Never mind.
I was also going to ask. Have you seen a buxom lass round here recently?
I mean, I've seen several. I mean, the Dragonborn ain't bad, but like, what are you looking for?
No, I was just asking. I was just making sure that the population of buxom lasses was still well and healthy in the area. I'm merely concerned for the greater good of the population.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I tell you what. While you're away, I'll tend to the flock, as it were,
Oh well, you might want to watch out. And I like point to all of the pustules and buboes on me. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. I believe the saying, "Don't be silly, wrap your..." So anyway, so, are you going to take the wagon or not?
I'm going to take it. Thank you.
Make sure we get a horse for it.
Yes, also a horse. Well, good thinking, dwarf.
Bring round.
We want Buttercup.
You want Buttercup?
Yes.
Like, damn, you're taking Buttercup.
I want Buttercup, damn it, or maybe Daisy.
He gets right in your face. He's not giving up Buttercup. How dare you? But
Does Buttercup have a sister?
The hell with her sister. We want the fabled Buttercup.
Make him a wager. How much are you willing
Apparently
to
we want Buttercup.
How much are you willing to spend on Buttercup?
Buttercup.
How do you feel about talking animals?
No.
I resolutely try not to look at Pookie while that. That's just like
I'm not entirely sure.
Not really into that.
I just...
What are you trying to sell me here? Like,
I point at the sheep. Just like kind of poke it a few times. Go on, do a trick.
You can't sell
Ramsey
the
looks.
sheep. That's my friend.
Ramsey looks at the dwarf, and he goes, "Meh."
See, look at that. He said bad. Oh my god.
I think the dwarf might have gone a little bit insane.
Who you calling insane?
You. Yes, you.
well,
How about this, sir?
That settles that.
All right.
I put like my cloak almost like over my face. I can't actually see him. Just like rummaging around within like my person. You have no idea. Just like bumps and elbows going everywhere, and I come back out. You can have whatever's in this sack, and I drop it on the table.
Oh, good lord.
A mystery sack.
Does it have a big question mark on the side of it?
Yes.
It does now.
RNG.
The ages have called that the loot bag.
All right, fine. You know what? If it gets rid of you, I'll take the mystery sack. and he calls out, "Orak, come get this!" And this huge lumbering orc that tries to smile to you guys as best he can, but his teeth don't really fit in his mouth, comes out, grabs the bag, and just sort of like smiles to everyone, lumbers back in. He just says, "All right, you can have Buttercup." And he says, "But you must know, there's only one way to get Buttercup started." And he holds a gold coin just below her neck. And you can see that it shines gold upon her neck, signaling that she likes butter, because that is something I've never understood that. If
That's a
that's
thing,
something
isn't
that
it?
no
Yeah.
one else understands,
Yep, it's always
it's
been a thing.
probably just me. So yeah, he gets Buttercup started, and she suddenly comes around. She's a horse. And he sort of like saddles her up to the wagon, and you have like a small wagon. It's not particularly large. It has a tarp that can go over the top, and you guys can finally get the fuck out of my town.
All right. I mean, all right. We'll be on our way.
But only because we choose to.
Exactly, because we've decided upon
We
this.
want to.
Because it was our decision the whole time.
Yes.
Indeed.
Good. We all have independent thoughts, but they are all of the same purpose.
Indeed.
Good.
So, you guys set off in this wagon. Who's sort of like doing what as you going along? Is anyone doing anything particular? Is anyone keeping watch? Is anyone having conversations as you guys are gonna be making your way up river?
I'm trying to make friends with Buttercup.
Roll me an animal handling. Buttercup goes home. Buttercup's just like, no.
Nope. I am out of here.
Well,
She's gonna be rude. Instantly offend Buttercup. No, Buttercup doesn't seem particularly taken by you at all. It's entirely possible that the horse is just a horse and therefore has no particular feelings towards you at all.
I'm very, very saddened by this and just sort of like slump back and like, I'll try again tomorrow.
It's okay, Pookie. Come here. It's fine.
Not okay.
It'll-
love the horse. She's so pretty and cute, and she doesn't like me.
Take
and
it-
I don't understand why she doesn't like me.
Take it from me. People in life are going to hate you.
I don't care if people hate me.
Animals, too,
will also hate you.
will also hate you. Animals are perhaps more forgiving.
I'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Perhaps you will.
Ramsey turns to Shallot and says, "Now, Shallot, we need somebody to watch the back of the wagon." Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take this rope. I want you to tie it around your wrists, right? So you don't get lost, all right? And I want you to just follow behind the wagon. And if anything happens, I want you to call out. It kind of feels like you just want me to be outside while the wagon drags me. No, that's not what I want to do at all. I am trusting you with my safety shot, because I love you. Whatever you say, Ramsey. And he like jumps out and he like ties the rope around his wrist and he's just like being drugged by the
Charlotte, roll me in athletics.
Sweet. Oh, that okay.
So Charlotte falls over. It's not. He makes it a little ways. He's probably, you get about 300 meters down the road, and Charlotte just sort of like walking back, and like he's doing the classic like turn every few minutes. But Charlotte has seemed to have forgotten. Like he keeps turning, but he's learned from Candaf that you need to continuously turn. You need to remember that turning is important at all times. So like Charlotte has decided only to turn clockwise, which means he's just becoming more and more tangled every time he turns around to check behind him, and finally ends up sort of in a trussed-up cocoon, just sort of bumbling along the floor, just staring off into the distance. How's Ramsey taking it?
Ramsey's like sitting there, like eating some like pages out of one of Shallot's many books that he has in his bag, and he's just like eating it as if it's like an apple. He's like, very good, Shallot. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry. No one's going to sneak up on us.
You just see like a book called it's called like the Book of the Ages, and there's Ramsey just tearing pages and pages out. No one's noticed that the Book of the Ages is being destroyed before you, and it's at this point when we come across the first scene. You guys find a pig. It is a particularly large pig, and it is not alone. There is a secondary pig, which is more of a boar. So 2 pigs, one boar-like and one normal, and both of them are passed out at a table. This table has been made of like carved wood. It looks like it was once a tree trunk that has been sort of like cut in place, and they're sitting on rocks. Both of them are passed out. There are decorations everywhere, and there are 3 seats. 4 seats, sorry. There are 4 seats, 2 of them occupied by the pigs, and they look like they are halfway through a game of poker and have passed out. There is a lot of chips in the center. There's no money around. It appears you have stumbled upon a party.
Do I recognize one of these pigs, or both of these pigs?
Roll me a history check.
All
because
right.
You have one hell of a hangover, my friend.
Yes, I have dealt with a great deal of pigs in my past. A 13 seems to be all I can roll today.
It's hazy. I vaguely remember.
I remember there was a barn, and there was some pigs, and there was that girl. What was her name? Nope. I can't recall.
Can't quite place it, but then you have this weird moment where you remember sitting at that table. You remember voices around you. You remember playing a game of poker here, and you remember this is where you lost your clothes.
Hang on a minute. I've been here before. These pigs bested me in a game of poker, and during which I lost my clothes.
And you vaguely remember the pigs are snoring loudly. One of them is wearing underwear. Actually,
is it mine? Is it my underwear?
One of them is wearing your underwear. The other one is
wearing
like sexy lacy suspenders. It's a female pig.
Those are mine.
And then those are definitely yours. And yeah, both of them have sort of passed out. And there is one other thing you will find here. You find a strikingly red stiletto.
Wait. I believe this was the heel of the maiden. Is it not like that ancient tale of the slipper and the woman?
You mean Cinderella?
And I standing, just sitting in the front, I say, that tale was neither ancient nor of a woman. Whoosh, like, the hair blowing back.
Oh.
Sudden gusts. No one else was buffeted, but just
right, just me.
That was just...
I also, at that point, would like to think that I turning in the seat, because I've been up in the front of the wagon, turn somehow, but without appearing to have done so consciously, just, like...
Yeah.
Was the story about you?
Was that to me, or is that
Yes.
to... Okay. And I say, and I
have
say,
to turn round again now.
I do that.
Why couldn't
But I
you
do
ask
that
him?
though with expression the same. Zzz, back to Pookie, and I just look and I say, the pain is too real. And then zzz,
You guys noticed at this point that somehow Kandaf has installed what looks to be a bar stool, like one of those classy sort of like it's like got that sort of bowl shape. That's
well, I carry it with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just these occasions.
It's a collapsible one, just like the camping one that just unfolds.
So people have a bag of holding. I have a stool of spinning. Like I just
exactly.
And that's what you do.
You can add that to your inventory once.
Awesome. I'm totally going to do that.
That is a thing.
This here is the stiletto of the maiden of which we seek. She is the key to the mystery of the ages, and we must find its twin. Now, let me awaken this pig. Pig! Oh, what's his name?
Gladius.
Gladius.
Just sort of like snorts loudly.
Gladius, I am looking for the twin of this stiletto. It's very much like its brother or sister or its twin, but not an evil twin. In regards to one is good and one is bad, very much the same, but just opposite of this one here.
It slams its hoof down, points to a small splay of cards that are currently face down. But you don't. Does anyone here know how to speak to animals?
I imagine Pookie
Ramsey.
might have some ability.
Pookie likes to think she can.
Oh dear.
Speak at them, right? It'd be more.
Pookie can roll
Speak
me an animal.
at animals.
Speak at
It's
animals.
like
I
talking
have
like
that.
whales.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Hey, Pig!
Um,
You're so cute! That's all she really says to Pig. She was excited to see
You're so cute.
Oh, well, give me an animal handling. Let's see how
Okay.
up on the pig. Let's just see what the interaction is like. It could be good. It could be
He
great.
accidentally says,
could
"I
be
want
great,
to turn you
we'll
into
see.
bacon."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly offensive in pig language.
Bacon, very slowly. No, on a 17, on the perfect number. Pookie, you get the feeling that this pig is pretty intoxicated. Whatever this is, it's probably had quite a lot of cider, which means it's around about perfect for eating at this point. Cider soaked pork is a wonderful thing. But he looks incensed. He looks angry, and the other one is slowly coming round. Her lipstick is sort of smeared all over her snout. One of her fake eyelashes is sort of fallen off and is like attached to her earlobe. She doesn't look particularly well. She's sort of like swaying back and forth. She's had too many glasses of Pinot. And Gladius looks to you, and then he looks angrily to Finbar, and he points to the
Oh,
cards. You get the feeling that Finbar might have left mid-game,
Oh, this
and
is all
this
coming
game
back.
is not over in Gladius's eyes.
This poor pig is dehydrated, and I hand him my water skin because he's drunk, and it's like, here, this will help you, sweetheart.
It tries to, and it's not Ramsey, so it just swats at the water skin. The water skin just falls on the floor. And then it just sort of curses its trotters. It
Never-
curses its trotters.
Never mind that now, Pookie. Fetch me a latte. Now, this is a poker game. Okay, I'm very good at poker. You see, is
No one's doubting that.
yes? Is anyone else very good at poker?
Ramsey like pops out of the back of the wagon. He's like, "Did somebody say poker? That's my game. Come on, let's do this." It's like, "Oh, pigs! Oh, they're just so dumb. They don't know a thing."
Aha! I announce my champion, Ramsey, who will stand in
Gladius-
my place and
Gladius,
forfeit.
with sheer wildness of the hog, rounds on Ramsey. It's an intense.
And should he lose, it is he who will pay the cost, and not me. As the
You know, I
ancient
think we said that
rules.
aloud.
yes.
And therefore, my plan. I mean,
No one will ever know the secret.
Ramsey like drags the still cocooned shallot behind him. So this is my buy-in, and he drops shallot on the.
Charlotte just lands in the middle of chips, and Gladius sort of like lifts itself up onto the table, and he, with a trotter, he sort of like moves. You see him move Charlotte's face around, and then he checks how many teeth Charlotte still has. Sort of like checks his eye. He seems like a healthy sort of gnome, and he gives a nod.
He's smart too. You should ask him what an Urgru is. He'll talk all about that for about an hour. It's your problem now. He like sits down and he's like, "All right, so what are we playing? Texas Hold'em, 5-card draw. What are we playing?"
He sort of like desperately trotters over the cards. He regathers them. He shoves Charlotte onto the floor amongst a pile of chips, and with amazing sort of dexterity, with something akin to magic. It's magic. He manages to shuffle a deck of cards, and he splays out a 5-card river, and then he deals everyone a card, and he just says nothing because he is a pig. and not everyone is as special as Ramsey. But you feel like Ramsey feels like, you know, there's a kinship there. You could, in basic ways, communicate with them. How does Vizgar and Kandaf? What you've stopped mid-journey just
Right.
because apparently Ramsey is going to play poker against two drunk pigs.
Right. So, well, I mean, I'm gonna get off of the wagon, arms remaining folded. And, I will oversee the game. So I will stand. I will try to use every bit of perception and knowledge of the ages that I have for people who might be counting cards, double cards, 5 aces concealed underneath the deck, that sort of thing. So I will watch impassively, with the belief that someone is going to cheat and prepared to react if so.
He sort of like seems to nod as he's sort of like there staring down at the cards, and at some point, no one really knows when, but you guys look back and he has a visor on, just pulled low, the brim low, and he looks up, and it's got quite dark in the area, and there's smoke coming from seemingly nowhere, almost like Kandaf's breeze that just randomly appears. Like it's just become very quiet and eerie. And Finbar, can you give us some atmospheric music for the Game of the Ages?
Yes.
You
Oh,
have a really cute hat. I like it. Trying to like remake friends with this pig.
this is the song of the ages. No, it goes a little bit like da 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 da.
And you watch, okay, on that you watch as Gladius pulls out a knife. No one knows from where.
What?
Be wary. And he buries it into the table. You recognized Marie's knife, Finbar.
Oh, that's Marie's knife right there. I recognize it.
Is Marie your wife?
No, for she wished to be, but 'twas not to be, for she is now most likely conveniently lost.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The one we were
It goes
thinking
off.
that was dead that you were telling your story about earlier?
Yes, that is she.
Oh.
Almost
Gladius
certainly
slams
lost.
his trotter down, stares at Ramsey. He's getting impatient.
Ramsey kind of looks at his cards. Oh dear. Now this doesn't look good for me. I wonder if there was a ticket to Poughkeepsie. And he says that like rather loudly, and then Shallot knows what to do because he's played with Ramsey a lot.
Oh my god.
So Shallot kind of starts to mumble something underneath his breath and casts minor illusion to like create a giant mirror behind the pig.
Okay.
Am I conscious that he's doing? I assume. I mean,
Shallot, roll me a sleight of hand. Kandaf,
Can only go
roll me a
poorly.
perception. Gladius is also going to roll perception.
This can only go
I
poorly.
don't know my character sheet in there. So, well, 12.
Somehow, nobody. It's like this small little. It almost looks like a slot opens, like you know those door slots that's sort of like people stare through. It's like that, but it just slides open and there's a perfectly reflective mirror just hanging there, and it shows you. We're gonna roll. Do you have does Ramsey have proficiency in card games? The thing.
I would say that he plays it a lot. He often, offers up Shallot, the
Yeah.
genius
The
gnome, as the buy-in, but he constantly uses Shallot to cheat.
Yeah, that makes sense. I imagine Shallot would probably want to go along with that, considering it's literally him being bartered with. Right, we're gonna have to come up with some rules for the new game that has just been created in the coming of the second age. So I'm not gonna lie, Gladius does not have the best poker modifier. He is a pig.
Series of
Particularly
skill checks.
smart pig. But So give me, but just be completely honest with me. How good a modifier do you reckon Ramsey has for poker? What's his plus?
Gosh. Well, damn. Would a +5 be too much?
Ooh.
That's a bold
Eye
claim.
roller.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Roll it for me. Let's see how it goes. Oh, an 11 to beat. Oh!
You didn't deserve it.
Whoa.
You see,
The poker gods are like, nope.
No.
you have the worst hand. Like it's almost it's
2-7
almost
offsuit, baby. Let's go.
it's almost a foot.
It just
instead.
folds.
That's what you have. You actually realize you don't have any hands at all, Ramsey. You just have trotters. You have no hands at all. But the pig's got okay. You know, he's got a pair. And they turn the river, and you know it's not looking good for you. Roll me a deception, Ramsey, just see if you can get it to fold, because otherwise you're in hot water. Charlotte is gone. Finbar's teeth are getting kicked in. Bad stuff will happen.
At this point, I would have walked up to the table by now and just been one of those kind of, I have no idea what's going on here, but I know with poker you drink, and I just kind of reach into my cloak and like almost out of nowhere I pull out just a grog and just start downing whatever it's mystery.
I'll
fluid
drink
in
to that.
Vizgar is that guy who's like, I have no idea what's going on, but I know it's important for spectators to get as close and aggressively,
Yes.
like, in the faces of the competitors as
It's
possible.
possible, right?
Yeah.
Did you just roll a 6?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to be clear.
Pookie's just biting her nails in anticipation. It's so intense.
Oh! Oh, he
Whoa.
knows! He knows!
Oh,
He knows
damn.
you're fine.
Oh no.
So you have this moment where he just looks at you, his eye twitches, and you just see a smug, evil, slightly intoxicated grin spread across his face. And you watch as he pushes all his chips in. He's all in, and he's got you beat. What do you do? What does everyone do?
Whoa, I have to be somewhere.
I sort of, lift my head. The wind picks up suddenly. The beard blows even faster behind me. And I dramatically look down and say, the ages are not kind. And I swim away.
I don't even know what the ages are, damn it. I'm gonna.
Beads of sweat are forming on Ramsey, and he like looks at his hand, and he like looks over at the river, and he's like, and he's like, I wonder if there's a Clydesdale. Clydesdale, where's the Clydesdale? and Charlotte's like, oh, yes, Clydesdale. Which one was that again? And then he proceeds to try to cast Mage Hand on a couple of the cards, so he could switch around the cards and stuff.
Okay, you got one last chance. This is your last chance, okay?
Final chance.
Is there like bowls or like empty cups on the table that like the pigs can
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
out of,
yeah,
or like?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a mini trough that they've been drinking out of.
So with that, as I see the sheep start to sweat, I'm just, well, we might as well make it a party. And I start just reaching into my cloak and just pulling out more and more ale as I start pouring it in, filling all the troughs for the pigs, and just.
The pigs, you see Gladius just start absolutely cramming it down. He's a happy pig. He's almost as happy as a pig in a poker game, which is what we've learned. There's no happier time for a pig than when he's playing poker against a particularly inept Ramsey sheep. So, right,
would it be a sleight of hands with Mage Hand?
it is a sleight of hand.
Let's see.
This is for Charlotte. Come on, buddy.
Oh God.
Oh! No, this is
Oh.
it.
This is fate at this point.
Shit.
Gladius,
The dice have
Gladius
decided.
draws the knife.
The ages have spoken.
The ages have spoken.
They are not kind. They are not to
You
be
have just-
trifled with.
You have just lost to Gladius, the
Double
world-renowned poker champ.
I don't feel so bad about losing to him now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah,
not
no,
the best.
Yeah,
He's a champion of the ages, what he is.
Gladius draws Marie's knife. and he reaches over and sort of pours Charlotte over to him. Charlotte being sort of trussed up.
Well played, Ramsey. Well played, Charlotte. Our quest awaits us.
Wait, Pig, are you threatening to kill Charlotte? Is that what you're trying to do?
He shrugs. He's not really decided yet. He's smashed. He's done
like-
so well.
Like a kid with a new toy.
Ramsey like digs around in his fleece and he pulls out a couple like coins and he like slams them on the table and nudges them over towards the pig. I'll give you 20 gold if you just do it right now. And empty the blood.
Very nice.
He stabs Charlotte in the chest.
Wait, whoa. Can I wait? Whoa.
I just shrug and go.
Am I able to react before that happens? Like,
Roll me an insight.
Fucking slits his throat. Alright.
Fucking yeah.
Far be it for a dwarf to interrupt sheep business.
no. Okay. Let's do. Oh, god damn it.
Is there also a way that
what about
we
do I
can
get
try
an
and intervene as well as like
advantage
maybe
for
try
beard?
to sleight of hand the
Beard.
knife?
Everyone can roll me an insight check. We've already had one from Candace, so it's just to see whether or not you realise
Even know what he's doing. Yeah.
Pookie, you see it coming, as does Vizgar. The pig is like absolutely like I'm gonna say the money goes onto the table. You see the look in the pig's eye. The pig's just like, yep, I'm a fucking. It's 20 gold pieces. I'm gonna stab this guy right in the chest.
Is there any way to do like a reaction, just like to yank him out of the range of the knife? I'm not sure how a pig is holding a knife anyway, but
no one's really.
no one really knows.
No one really knows.
Quote of some Animal Farm to distract him. Like open palm to the face, like anything.
Look over there, some truffles.
I'm gonna try and just like get this knife out of his hand. Do you want me to roll a sleight of hand?
It'd be an athletics check to disarm him.
An athletics check?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be an athletics check.
Send in the Pookie.
Alright, Pookie's just gonna go and it's like, no!
Yes, minions.
There you go.
He's gonna. I hate to say this. He's actually quite tough, but he's essentially raging.
This guy's got it all.
So
Barbarian pig.
He's a pig barian.
still at advantage. He only rolls a 20. So Pookie, you
Only
managed
a
to
20.
disarm him. Yeah.
Pookie grabs that knife and shoves that pig. It's like, bad pig, no!
The pig falls over. The pig is smashed. He's so drunk. He just rolls back.
Come on, Charlotte. Wait, pig. Before we go, tell me one thing. To where did the buxom lass go? The last of the ages.
The pig oinks at you. It's a pig.
Ask him. Someone who speaks his tongue. Pig Latin.
Who speaks?
Ramsey gathers the 20 gold and he hands it to the pig. Even though he didn't complete his job, he's look, this guy, and he's speaking it, but he's like doing like piglish kind of deal. Like
That's a thing, right?
which is pig Latin, right? So he's just
Yeah.
like ixnay on
The
the
oink a and the
oink
ink
a
boy.
ifnay. You know.
Do you know where this lady is? And he like pulls out his like who's buxom lass.
Workshop Nass.
Clippity clip.
Yeah. Like everyone else just sees like Ramsey just there, just like, and the pig just equally back, just. But there's like an intense conversation going on, and he just he looks up and he. Yes, I know exactly where they are. Further upriver. From where? I don't know why he has.
Not
this
the voice I was expecting.
He did have this voice in his canon. I can't
Okay,
go
yeah,
my own law. I can't just throw the law out the window.
It's like
No,
Tolkien,
yeah,
man.
I mean, that's,
You can't just change the ages, Kandar, whenever you want.
no, I know. I mean, like,
He looks
believe
up.
me, no one knows better.
Exactly. He looks up. Wind. It looks up river, and he points, and he sort of like frailly sort of swipes at the air and says, "They came from that direction, the pair of them. But Finbar was already very drunk and, well, he'd already lost items of clothing. He'd have to retrace his steps further up yonder.
All
Back
right.
through the ages."
Back through the ages, it is. That aways.
Ramsey kind of looks at the party. Now, my piggish isn't the best in this.
Neither is your poker.
Ooh, look here.
Burn.
I had every intention of losing.
Buttercup rears in applause.
I stay perfectly stationary, having gotten back on the wagon, but somehow stay there while spinning at the same time.
Ramsey's like, now my piggish isn't the best, but he said that the two came from yonder upriver, and that Finbar needs to retrace his tic-tacs.
There's a clap from the drunken female. So just
I see. The path of ages opens up before us once again, my friends, and it seems as though it is clear to me that is the way we must travel to find this buxom lass. And all the other stuff about saving the ages, etc. So, good game, Ramsey.
Thank you. Come on, Shallot, you useless gnome. Okay. And he hops up and he's kind of caterpillaring over back to the
Gladius just looks at Shallot the whole way, just glaring at him from the ground. But Shallot, Gladius is just lying on his back completely. He could get up, he just can't be thumped.
Right.
And Josh, that's 20 followers if you want to do a viewer decision, my friend.
Okay, so guys, there, as you've probably discovered, has been a trail of carnage created by Finbar and Drunken Stupor. He's already found one thing, which was he apparently drunkenly decided to play poker with Gladius and his newfound lass, so that he's sort of mated with the edge of the river. But what else did Finbar get up to before we will find out where the Galvatron is? So, not where the Galvatron is, but what was the next chaotic event that happened in Finbar's drunken escapade?
What did Finbar get up to?
Lol.
Oh, Finbar. Underneath our line in chat, my friends, throw out ideas. What did I get up to in my drunken stupor?
It's like a bad outtake of a Memento. Let's discover it then.
Dear.
Yeah, you guys sort of resaddle up. You leave the drunken pigs, I presume, or are you trying to take them with you?
Leave those guys behind, man. We do not need
Really
these
bad
pigs.
I
Don't
don't like
agree.
them.
Yeah, this pig would go absolutely ham at you, to be honest. So you would leave them.
No, you don't.
Yep. Nope, their position's already baked in.
Yeah, it's true. But luckily,
Don't
someone was willing to.
encourage them.
Luckily, someone was willing to save Finbar's bacon. So you guys make your way further upriver and away from that whatever that was. And as you do, you get to sort of a place where a tree has been felled. It is across the river. It is sort of like a. It was sort of lodged between two rocks. And you remember this is the tree that you felled to cross said river. As you make your way across, you find the edge of the forest. This is the elven forest from which you remember. And you find a horse. This horse is not like Buttercup. This horse is wrapped around a tree. Literally, it's sort of curled up around a tree. Next to it, there is a small a pair of what look like firebugs that are just blinking off and off orange. They're sort of on the horse's riding moves, and it's just it's whatever. This horse has been crashed, probably by an irresponsible driver.
I can imagine.
I'm gonna go see if this horse is dead and if it's okay and if I can help it.
The horse you go over, the horse probably needs some help. You know that you could probably get some help from the local I don't know, rescue service.
We need to put the horse in the cart. She's gonna die if we don't do something.
You don't put the horse before the cart. It's the cart. Okay.
No, on top of that, please.
It's
On the other hand, horse meat is very tasty, and it
No.
is close to lunch.
I think she might have a heart attack if we were to eat the beast.
I'm going to get down and CSI this just a touch. Is there? Do we see? So we just have the blinking, crashed horse. Is there anything? Is there a saddle on the horse? Saddle bags? A wagon?
There is a
splinters of
saddle.
wood or anything? Sorry.
There is indeed a saddle. You also notice that the saddle has several cup holders, and one of the cup holders still has a large, what looks like a keg with a handle, and the top is missing. It's an exuberantly large mug, and you can see like there's a mark on the floor where like the ground, like all the grass has just died. Like whatever fell from this mug and sort of spilled out into the ground has just killed the grass. It's quite clearly potent, to say the least.
Can we see like footsteps or anything around?
Roll me some investigations if you're trying to, or survival checks. I'll let you pick. Depends on how CSI you want to go.
Considering I have no intelligence, I'm gonna pick survival. Ugh.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah, survival's going to be closer, I guess. Well, that's a little bit better.
Okay, so you guys are sort of there. So we've got Vizgar sort of first on the scene, first responder. He sort of looks around and he checks for tracks, and immediately you find tracks coming out of the elven forest. It looks like this horse came out at quite some speed. It looks like it was not alone. It did not, like, literally police cars, loads of police cars have just driven past. I was just like, they found me, the other driver. So yeah, you find like whatever this horse came out at quite some speed, and it was being pursued by what looks like a second rider. The horse was abandoned here, but you don't see in which direction the rider went. The horse somehow miraculously, despite the fact it's been maybe a couple of days since this happened, do you reckon? The horse is still alive. It's just laid there it's just decided to lay.
Where is the horse and the rider?
You find the horse and the rider.
Oh look,
And
there is the horse and the rider. I should have said yes.
Yes. You find King Theoden, and he's just
Who am
so
I?
thankful. And you shake him repeatedly.
I know your face. It's, see. I
yeah,
look down
so,
and I say, this horse has limited power.
Only about one horse.
Whoosh, exactly. I just blows and I nod. I nod at Vizgar very approvingly and indeed.
So Kandalf, you
Too
look around
true.
and you sort of stand over, and Vizgar is doing the classic sort of, he's crouched low, he's tracing his hands along the footrest, and he's sort of stering off into the distance.
I got a corncob pipe. All of a sudden.
Yeah. And Kandalf just comes in, sort of stands behind him, dramatically wind buffeting him, takes sunglasses off. He's like, so what do we got here? And you just see the scene play out as it appears that whoever was riding this horse was being pursued at quite some speed and abandoned it here. And they desperately scrambled, not across the log. It appears they fell and they waded their way through the river. And you don't see exit tracks on the other side. And finally, I got to ask, Zippy, is it Shallot or is it?
It is Shallot. Shallot manages a way to get out of the little cocoon, and he comes up, and he's like, "Oh boy, okay, let's get to work, guys."
So Shallot, you see, you sort of you check the depth of the hoof marks, and you reckon that whatever was chasing them, it was probably carrying someone quite heavy, or the horse was quite large. whatever the pursuit horse was. And you actually notice as you step back, you sort of like step into sort of the tear arch that has been up. Whatever they came through, it wasn't a path before. There was no trail here. It was just blazing straight through the undergrowth, and there's loads of torn foliage. But you see, it appears there was a wagon that was being drawn by the second horse, and it apparently returned. Whoever was riding this horse lost their pursuers at the river. Unfortunately, they also lost their mount.
So I look down and I say, with the sunglasses out, and I say, if only he could rein in his impulses. And I put them on and go, yeah! And I step away.
Bitches.
That's just Finbar in the background.
Same as okay.
Yeah.
But so I do that, but then I immediately stop and I look at Finbar and I say, "Are you familiar with this horse of the ages?"
Let me think. Am I familiar with the Horse of the Ages, Josh?
Roll me a religion check, because that's quite a question to pose me. You can't just ask a guy a question like that.
Yeah.
That's something you have to study.
Yeah, bit of foreplay. History check, yeah.
No, religion. This is the Horse of the Ages.
You were right. I rolled
the Horse of the Ages.
I rolled a natural one. At the same time, Highland.
What is a horse? What is a horse?
What is a man? Highland Lass needs 3 pounds, and she says, "Let me see here. Been a while since I've tuned in. Life's up. A hesitation to give Will a crit success before I lose the will to watch due to connection issues. Can I use my nat 20 on that, Josh?
No.
Thank you, Francis.
You can store that nat 20. Thank you very much, Francis, and welcome back. And Finbar, you remember the Horse of Ages. You do. You remember it as a dark omen.
Ah, yes.
You vaguely remember as a child. This is going way back, a flashback. You see Finbar, young, the aspiring bard, yet to be known, having these dreams.
So last week, you mean?
Yeah. There are posters all over his bedroom. You vaguely remember that sort of like all this stuff was going on, and you remember sort of like trying to tell your mum that you were going to be this aspiring rock star, this bard, this famous character.
Oh yeah.
Your mum was in a rush. She was busy. She was getting out the door, and as you look out through the door, you see her running. She runs to the street, and she gets on the Horse of Ages with a rider shrouded in darkness. And you have this harrowing memory of your mum never being around because she was always running to the Horse of Ages and the mysterious rider. And it's traumatic, like brings tears to eyes, Finbar.
I like the idea that Finbar is like, there's finally some like spot of like decency to him, like there's some shred of humanity like behind all this shit, and he's like that.
Mummy?
It's like that scene from Ratatouille, like the guy's just immediately like, oh, like everything comes through.
One moment, he's had an epiphany. My mother was never around. You see, I think that's why I am the way I am. I think that now I think about it, that might be entirely to blame for all of my wrongdoings. Yes, it is not my fault that I did all of these things.
I'm shaking my head. No.
I agree. No, it was not my fault. It was the Horse of Ages.
Charlotte kind of sidles up next to Finbar and pulls out a hanky and like reaches up and tries to give it to him.
Thank you. I will.
Roll me a history check. I just want to check something. Just don't spend your nat 20. Just roll me.
Oh, you want me to roll on?
Yeah, real quick.
16.
You have. This is a future quest for you. This is something to remember you. You have to find this horse because you can't quite remember. You were always told it was either the Horse of Ages or they were referring to the Whore of Ages. I'm not going there, Will. I'm not
Wow.
going to push that on you. I'm just saying it's
I think that might be referring to me, in all honesty.
it's probably, this is it. This is the final. We'll come to realize it's actually Finbar that this is all about. So yeah, no, you don't remember much about this area. On a 16, you sort of look around. You have a hazy recollection of running like hell, and then finding a horse and riding like hell. And the last thing you remember is sort of smashing into something, like staggering out and freezing cold water, and a voice behind you screaming your name, this guttural barking sound.
Yeah.
And then you realize you have this sort of like moment, it's so vivid. Everyone else, you hear something scream Finbar's name. Finbar's convinced that this is a memory, but everyone else will hear right now. Finbar!
Oh, great, Papyrus.
Oh, God. Also, advantage to Zippy from Dr. Plasmus. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you.
Who's calling my name? Who is it? Mother? Is that you?
As you call back, everyone hears footsteps. There's a moment where I'm going to say Candath, as you were the one to notice this. You see one of the saddlebags has a little bit of like alcohol left, sort of like stored in it, like a wineskin that's not entirely spilled, but like the side's been torn off as it's collided, and you just see ripples in the water. Oh, well, it's probably moonshine.
I
Actually.
feel it in the water. That's something going on. Is this you, Mother?
And you hear something start to stomp its way towards you out of the darkness. You hear what sounds like hooves.
Oh, it's coming for me. The Horse of Ages.
Wait, Horse of Ages? What is with you guys in ages?
You know what they say, dark hooves, dark tidings.
Oh,
But
Maybe it's
Buttercup
just not a bad
rears up.
representation. Like, it could be a nice horse.
Buttercup is quite clearly scared of this. Like, is
Oh no,
ducking-
Buttercup!
Steel yourself, friends, for something. Something dark comes.
Now for wrath.
Now for ruin.
In the world.
And the world's ending.
That means that presumably Visgar at this point is running to blow the horn.
Yes. Yeah.
That was actually pretty good. I'm quite impressed, actually.
The hidden talent.
God,
They-
no.
yeah.
Now we charge into pikes down a hill.
Look. I was gonna say, look to the east.
To the east is the sun.
On the fifth day of the hangover, look to the east. At first light. Yeah, you
Squint thy eyes.
at last orders, look to the east. You hear this thing, and something comes out of the darkness. It comes at quite some speed. Everyone, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Can I cast a magic missile?
Yeah, sure.
The darkness.
Which I don't have.
Oh, okay. So you just finger gun at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to cast magic missile into the darkness.
All right. So I actually, while spinning, rotate above whatever it is that I'm saving throw, and then smoothly with a 23, I assume.
Yeah,
Come back
it's
down.
you know, you pull the lever, and it just
Right.
like, the chair raises past it, like it's no longer attached. It just
Right.
raises into the sky.
Right. Knew that would come in handy.
I just imagine the wind has picked up even more and just like swished him away.
Right. Well, it's important to note that the wind, of course, is always blowing opposite of my beard, so the beard does not spin. It just stay behind me at the same wisped rate, you know, as you.
Very,
Who
very
needs a
important.
weather channel when you have the beard?
That's right. Exactly.
You guys realize this actually happens to me on a daily basis. Like, it's a nightmare. Like walking down the street and then just
Every
blown-
day when you're walking down the street.
If beard is wet, it's raining. If
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a fail, a pass from Visgar, and a fail. So Finbar, Charlotte, and Pookie, unfortunately, you're not going to make it out of the way in time. You're going to take a little bit of a buffeting.
15 points of damage. God damn it.
As you take 2 points of damage, as you
Ow.
just manage to avoid getting trampled by 2 huge oxen. These are massive beasts, almost like water buffalo size, and they come tearing out, dragging what looks like a Roman sort of what are they called? Chariots.
Chariots.
The one with just 2 wheels, the one sort of built for battle with the kneecap.
War chariot or something?
Yeah, war chariot.
Yeah,
Get
that
blades on the
was-
side.
Roman name
One
would
of
be,
them,
yeah.
and astride it, still sort of partially secluded in the shadows, is a massive hulking figure. It's also covered in what looks like white cloth, just draped everywhere.
On a side note, I totally knew that adding oxen to my soundboard would pull through for me one day, and this is that moment.
I don't buy that. There's no way.
For real. Yeah.
That's
I'll bump it up to maximum
I
on
was
this.
gonna say you have
Oh,
an
no.
oxen sound effect.
Yeah. Arrgh.
okay. So anyway, I'm still recovering from the oxen, and so are people. Anyone who took that 2 damage is considered prone. You've been knocked down, but Kandaf, you come sort of swirling down as an elf. You will be able to see that whatever this figure is, it is covered in sort of the white, quite odd clothing. It's quite nice. It almost looks like net curtains. There's lace involved. It's a weird thing. The chariot is battered to hell. Its rough leather rope is sort of like a knotted rope is holding these oxen in place, and they snort. They tramp the ground. They look particularly agitated and angry.
Is its face is obscured, the driver? Or
Yeah. Or whatever it is, it's nearly 9-10 feet tall.
so as big as the creature's drawing it, then basically.
Indeed.
Okay, does it come to a stop? Does it turn
Yeah,
around?
it's come to a stop.
And now it's facing you, and I hold up a hand, beard flowing behind me, and I say, dramatic creature of white and lace, pause of the ages. I forget, I sort of throw that in as a subtext, like blah 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 of the ages. I say, why have you challenged us, and what is your business here, you
It
and
points-
your large
points a
no.
finger at you, and it says, "You should never ask a woman her age." And it jumps down and starts to stomp forward, and the largest bride you have ever seen in your life comes marching forth out. It is giant-sized. It is currently wearing a veil that obscures its face, but you can see very dark skin beneath the white, and it comes marching forth sort of. You can see one huge eye behind it gazing at you. Yeah, it
The
looks
all-seeing
like
eye.
seeing eye.
Where is he?
I.
My wed.
To whom do you refer?
Oh goodness.
I just scream, I'm between the oxen! Move your oxen ass!
So
Yes, he is.
he says Finbar.
Mm.
He
He says Finbar. Yeah, it's a
she. I should say she. I'm sorry. She says Finbar.
That's
So the veiled creature says Finbar. Like, says it loudly enough for me to hear, or says it loudly enough that people?
loudly for everyone. This thing is
dear.
booming voice.
And so I turn and I say, "Your reckoning with the ages has come." And I wait to see what happens next. I figured they ought to have their revelation first. I've seen the Blues Brothers. I know how this. So I wait.
I'm aware of the pretense.
Hi. Do I know you?
It pauses and it sort of like holds its hands, like clutches them together, and you watch as like the veil moves as like large eyelashes repeatedly like flap it around. It seems to be fluttering its eyelashes at you. Finbar, you returned. I knew you'd come back.
Are you missing a stiletto? And
A stiletto?
I hand the red stiletto out. Like, is this her?
No, This would need to be maybe 8 times larger.
Right.
Close.
As I was suspecting. Not bad.
I mean,
It's my closest shot yet.
You're looking at a 10-foot tall, very burly, muscular-looking frame.
Okay.
You returned for me. I'm so happy.
No, I returned for the one who bears the foot which this slipper belongs upon.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know who you are, and quite frankly, you'd scare me.
But you have a really nice dress, as Spooky says as she stands up. She's
It's
not
all
mad
right,
about
I
being
guess.
hit by the ox.
Not the worst dress I've seen.
I prepared a Homer melt into the hedge again, like seeing where this is going.
I say, but I'm sure that we could be together after my latest adventure, which is of utmost importance in saving the world. And I'd like to use my nat 20 to persuade her. I'm a nice guy.
I'm gonna... okay, you spend your nat 20 to convince her that you're a nice guy.
And that I will be with her later on.
Okay. She smiles, and sort of underneath you see like the movement of jaw, and she slowly crouches. You hear the creaking of joints, the grinding of bone, and she brings herself down to your level, which is never something you should do. If that's one thing you learn from Encounter Roleplay, never bring yourself down to Finbar's level.
Very
But,
dangerous.
She doesn't seem to know. She doesn't get the memo, and she crouches down. And as she does, you see she pulls back her veil.
Oh, I say.
So, Finbar, you stare at the largest golden eye you've ever seen. Now, this is not a cyclops. It does have
snitch.
2 eyes,
It's a
one of
golden
which
snitch.
is swollen and large, though. And the other one, its face is swollen. It's covered in pustules. It's sort of dark reddish tint skin.
This isn't getting better.
Uh-huh.
And right, I'm gonna need a save for you. Let me just check the
Yes. Save versus the flip. I mean, like this.
Okay, I can try and save myself from this.
Give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, luckily enough, I am the most charismatic man you'll ever meet. 23.
23. You are not cursed by the evil eye.
Ew.
But you feel for a brief moment, you guys, everyone looking at Finbar will watch as his skin on his face wrinkles and breaks out in sores for a split second. Like it's like the sheer weight of the gaze starts to ruin his looks. Like you feel the most uncomfortable sensation as you break out in pustules of boils, and then you sort of like just no, I am Finbar the Glorious, and you push it back, and the curse is lifted. But
I say
it
no to your
doesn't
face
seem-
pustules.
It doesn't seem to have done this intentionally, and it leans in and puckers up. This thing's face is ravaged and ruined. Its huge teeth are just, its sallowed lips barely cover them, and they're sharp and jagged. Its breath is fetid. It tries to kiss you.
I'll kind of like palm it off.
Kiss of the ages.
Kiss of the ages.
Kiss of the ages.
I will kind of make it into a hug rather than a kiss. Do that awkward kind of thing.
Also a bro hug with a slap. Like,
Yeah,
I want him tap on the back.
Hey,
Roll me
totally
a sleight
right.
of hand. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
fist bump.
to avoid the kiss and to bring it into the hug.
It's a real life
19.
skill, by the way.
This is a real life skill we're learning right now. D&D teaches you real things, kids.
Yeah. We're just recanting old tales when me and Will have gone out clubbing.
Yeah.
And you managed to just sort of nope, and you pat its
Christian
back. And you feel
side
as you pat its back, you feel like something burst, and this disgusting mucus sort of like coats your glove, and it just says, "Well, until we'll meet again, I'll wait for you at the village you told me all about." and it starts stomping off back towards its oxen.
Oh yes, that village I'm going to return to. Totally going back there now.
As she stomps off, she like steps over Shallot, who's still prone on the ground, and like as the trail, the
Shallot,
train.
Shallot, roll me a charisma saving throw.
Great.
Shallot, you're right. It doesn't see you. It steps over you. This thing's wearing a dress.
I know.
Oh,
You have seen some things. You're gonna take a little bit of psychic damage, my
Seen
friend.
it, man.
Listen too much.
Press stare. I've seen it.
That was supposed to be 2. Sorry.
into the cavern of ages.
You take 7 psychic damage as you see up the
Oh.
skirt of a bridal Fomorian.
Can we put that on a t-shirt?
The cooch of it. This
The
is
cooch of the eternal ages.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh god.
Oh, one of those
Beauty.
things. Yeah.
The beauty of your
Beautiful.
bride, Finbar. GG, punching above your weight.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, anytime.
Shallot just like is laying there whimpering. Oh god, what was that? It looked like a vortex, and it wasn't a good vortex. It had hair. Oh, what was that? Oh god.
I
die?
wish I could explain. I fear that doing so would force me to remember.
My vision's not what it used to be. Was that the good-looking woman?
And I'm like, no. And I just turn away.
Whoosh.
Yeah, by the way, very fortunate that my usual method is to turn away from these things, so I don't have to be looking at it most of the time. I was just sort of pre-turned. You know?
I just imagine I was just short enough to like go underneath the cart. So when I made the saving throw, the ox just parked around me, and then she just pulled out from over top of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you watch as she starts hauling ass downriver, these huge oxen sort of dragging it, and you guys seem to have shook this tail, this hot piece of tail, might I add, for the second time. However, before you lies a wrecked trail, and Finbar vaguely remembers that somewhere in there is an elven, no, not that wrecked trail, we won't talk about that, but there.
Stop reading my mind.
You vaguely look into the forest, and you think you remember somewhere in this forest there is an elven compound and a tavern, and you sort of remember being there.
Yes. Do I know the path?
Find the path.
Yes.
It's
find the
something you're
path.
great at, Will. We've discovered this in other D&D, other role-playing campaigns.
It's
You're great at
What,
it.
like a survival check you want?
Bath
roll
of
me- yeah, roll me
Ages.
survival. The Bath of Ages. Did you say the Bath of Ages?
I
Mm.
was
Find
gonna say the
path.
path of ages.
Got a 7.
On a 7, Finbar stumbles into the forest with reckless abandon, trying to put as much distance between him and his. I like. No one asked if they had actually been wed, so no one knows. You might actually be wedded to this thing. Maybe you stood it up at the altar. Maybe you did. Maybe you weren't quite that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably some loopholes. I mean, she wouldn't be my first. She wouldn't be my fifth.
Yeah. So yeah, but you might have been her first, and that's quite something. So you tear off into the forest, and pretty soon you guys find yourself lost in the forest. Everyone sort of like realizes that you guys are lost when Finbar walks sort of straight. He's like, I found it. And you guys walk straight back out and find a horse wrapped around a tree and trails leading off down a river. It appears Finbar has no idea where he's going.
Oh, bards never know where they're going.
I have literally no clue where I am.
Let me do my part in this here quest. Let me find this path.
Roll me a survival check. Let's see you navigate.
I'm gonna get in that one. I know it.
You actually. So the dwarf flies off, and the dwarf strides into the forest. And you've heard tales of the wood elves, but luckily you have. This literally happened last time. You have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox, and that is precisely when you find you have a bow pointed straight at your face and an arrow inches from your eye as the party is surrounded, having been led straight into an ambush by the most incompetent of navigators.
Aye, you're just where I want you. You didn't trap us. We've trapped you.
This
And
keeps happening.
The lead elf just sort of like nods. Right, of course. What are you doing here? Why have you returned?
Well, I need to know what happened.
You were barred from our dwellings.
I was? Why?
Cast out.
What did I do?
What you did.
No, I don't.
Well, the Queen still remembers.
That is not who I am, though. And so, while she may remember, I do not.
Unfortunately, crime is based upon whether or not the prosecutors remember. Not
I was terribly drunk at the time. It basically doesn't count.
He is
So-
probably unable to consent if he's intoxicated, right? Right, guys? Right?
Shallot,
Pookie Esquire.
Shallot like walks up to the lead elf who has like the bow out, and he like kind of like grabs hold of the shaft of the arrow, and he like tries to jump up to meet its eyes. Look, I've been almost stabbed by a pig. I just saw the most horrible thing in the world. Just tell him what he did. Come on.
roll me a desperation, Shallot. Roll me,
conscious of
roll
that
me-
being a thing,
roll me a
but it's like-
performance or a persuasion. It's up to you, buddy.
Oh boy, let's see what.
I'm gonna give you advantage because genuinely you have had a day of days.
I've seen some things.
You've been sold into pig slavery. You've seen the. You got an advantage, so you get to reroll
Yeah.
once.
Oh sweet.
Thankfully.
Nailed it. Shallot is the luckiest of individuals. They look to you. They don't look particularly sympathetic, but you can only make out their eyes as they wear masks and their hoods are up. And one of them steps forward and just says, "You will come with us." And they sort of like you hear the sort of the tension in the men as this is sort of the ultimatum of you get the feeling this is either come now or be shot. And it's quite a few of them, to say the least.
I immediately take the opportunity to melt into the crowd to begin to see what I can do to reason with them, which is a nice way of saying that the previously mentioned real life commitment has come and I must go to it.
That's cool.
All right,
Well,
now.
Luckily,
do it, but
Luckily-
guys, this is enjoyable. I'm sorry that I had to leave early, but daughter's dance performance.
No problem.
Sorry, told everyone.
see you later.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
So there was a sudden smoke bomb, and Kandaf just. Then the wind blows it away, and it turns out that Kandaf actually does know one of these elves, but it's not like all elves know each other. Don't you dare assume such a racist assumption. He just happens to have previously met one of them, and while we sort out cameras, Kandaf will slip into the mist. Yeah, see that? He uses actual distraction. Ruins. He shuffles the stream, and while you're not looking, Kandaf.
You just broke the
vanishes.
fourth wall.
You know,
Bye.
But now it's fixed. Fire magic again.
indeed, indeed.
Interesting.
So you have many arrows pointed at you, and Shallot, you are told, you will come with us. So will the offender. He was told there would be consequences should he return. He has broken his exile.
Oh
Hi,
dear.
great. Just do you guys have any therapists?
Maybe I should just go back now. And you all can go on ahead. What does that sound like, Elf? Huh?
That sounds like we would shoot you in the back. Something we would.
Rather than shooting me in the front, which is preferable. Okay.
Can at least see
That would
comedy.
irritate us further, having to shoot you in the back. We all want to see your perplexed face.
Charlotte speaks up. Was this elf, half elf, given a proper trial?
a proper trial.
You see, I was drunk at the time. It can't have been proper. I couldn't defend
Okay,
myself.
then. You will have your proper trial. We will return. You may summon whatever legal counsel you wish.
I turn to Finbar and it's like, I actually read a book on law.
Oh, that's good. Well, was it about this kind of law?
He reaches into his pack and he like
Law and Order UK. Dum dum.
Yeah,
Oh.
Elvish law right here.
Oh, well, in that case, then good. Then you will defend me. For whatever it is I've done. And no matter how undefensible it may seem.
You cannot simply bring a lawyer to this. There are certain customs. You must have someone post your bail, and you must also bring character witnesses.
Well, I
These
have
two
my...
will- And he points to Pookie and Visgar, who have been roped into this trial of the ages.
See, these are, yes, these are two character witnesses for me. They can confirm that I am the greatest.
Ramsey trots up to the guy. You need somebody to post his bail, and he like reaches into his fleece and he pulls out a small sack of gold and he like hands it to the elven guard.
The elf does like the turn that Kandalf has been doing, except when he completes the turn, there is no coin purse. And the elf doesn't seem to move much, but he just glances down to Ramsey and he nods, and you just hear a whisper, "Welcome back, Master Ramsey. Your usual quarters will be made available to you." He
Good.
nods.
Oh.
He like
Okay.
So,
this is
guys-
good. This is good.
You guys are going to be taken through the forest, and you guys are going to be blindfolded. You will hear, as you journey, rambunctious activity. You hear what sounds like the least elvish bar fight you've ever heard. There's plenty of, "Oi, fucking, come on then!" It sounds like a bunch of orcs and humans and dwarves are having a massive rough and tumble. It lasts for maybe 5 to 10 minutes as you walk through an area that seems to be inhabited, and you still feel like ferns brushing against you. It's clearly hidden away somewhere in the forest. And finally, as it still echoes somewhere to the east, you reach your destination. Your blindfolds are removed, and everyone bar Ramsey is shown a ladder. Ramsey is shown a small elevator that has a small rope pulley, and it seems to be for one goat.
Thank you, Tandalin. Top floor, as usual. Ramsey, have you been here before? Nope, never been here a day in my life, Charlotte. Just keep climbing up that ladder.
We've never met Master Ramsey before, nor has he ever frequented any of the establishments in town. And with that, Ramsey just suddenly starts to be hoisted from unseen hands into the canopy, about 200 feet above.
They got
Everyone
like a
else
winch
is
for him.
Yeah.
Shout out, you getting that 20 from Winslow. Hey,
Oh,
Winslow.
thank you, Winslow.
It appears that we are back here again. Fine. It's an illusion. You can go through the bushes further up the ladder. Don't worry, Pookie, Visgar. We'll be fine. You just make sure that you, in the trial, tell everyone how great I am. And that I'm a nice, upstanding citizen who sent everyone on a grand quest to save the ages. Yes, and I'm good with animals as well, right?
I'm not being paid enough for this. I just start
Not
slowly
being
climbing.
paid. No
We're
one's
getting
promised you any paid.
Exactly.
So yeah, you guys start
Right.
to climb up, and as you get to sort of like the top, you breach the canopy and you find a very strange sight. It looks to be some sort of mesh made out of twigs, out of leaves, out of thickets, and just various other organic, natural building materials. And it is a huge cone, which you seem to be coming to the bottom of. And it almost funnels out upwards, and there's light being cast from within. You can hear what sounds like the hustle and bustle of a town within. It's almost like a hive, and it's all built around this huge tree. and they walk you over to a hollowed out section of the tree trunk. A door opens, you are under armed guard. You are shown into a ladder which leads you up into a multi-tiered town that dwells in elven nature within this sun trap. And there is no canopy above you suddenly. You see the light from the midday sun sort of beaming down, and there appears to be a very well laid out elven town. And just above you, in the distance, right at the edge of one of the part of the rim, you see what looks to be a large, very reverent building. Something that quite clearly is of importance. This could be a kingdom. This could be a palace. This could be a castle, a place of significant religious worship. You're not sure, but they start to march you in that direction. How does everyone react to this, apart from Ramsey, who has brought a martini? It's been demanded.
I think Finbar is pretty resigned to his fate at this point, having done this once before.
This is the prettiest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
And if you can imagine the exact opposite of that, that's exactly the look on Vizgar's face.
Vizgar, you are so far from the ground.
Exactly.
You are maybe
surrounded by pointy ears, nonetheless.
Yeah. You are the only non-elves here, the party here.
Shallot just like looks tired, like bags under his eyes. He kind of like looks up, and he just keeps trudging along, getting ready for court. Pulls out his book of Elven Law and starts to like pre-read it.
And as you're sort of trudging along, like Ramsey sipping a martini somehow. It's not even an olive. There's just a small shallot in there.
Delicious. Let me just eat that.
As you crunch through that shallot, grinding it to nothing. You guys are sort of brought up to what looks to be a place. Yeah, this maybe a center of commerce. This could be a town center. Who knows? But the doors open. They creak. These huge wooden carved doors that show a mighty tree carved into them with much detail. And the double doors swing open to show a hall on the other side. And in the hall there is a throne. There doesn't appear to be anyone sitting in it at the moment. The guards stop and gesture for you to step inside.
Everyone on their best behavior, especially me. I'll step in.
Okay. Just like looking around at all of the shiny things because she's a dragon. It's like, ooh.
This would make it's high up. This would be the best hoard ever. You could make a nest up here. It basically is a nest.
I mean, would they be opposed to Pookie just kind of going like lying down on the shiny stuff?
I mean, there's a potential that this is a palace, but you can go nuts.
That's why Pookie's just gonna be like, what's like the biggest, shiniest pile of stuff in this palace?
There's not necessarily piles, but there is a massive throne that's bejeweled. It's loads of like carved wood, gold leaf detailing on the wood. There's like a rich, luxuriant velvet cushions and the armrests are studded with jewels of various different cuts. They don't look necessarily well refined. The dwarf, Vizgar, you're probably looking at them. These are the roughest cut stones you probably. They're like the natural beauty of rocks, as opposed to like the refined craftsmanship of a dwarven. Yeah, it's a nightmare. But that throne looks pretty, Pookie. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks really, but it's also a chair that doesn't belong to her. And Pookie, as a former slave, has manners. So she's fighting like everything in her to like not go and like rub up against it like a cat. But so you just kind of like see her just like clutch her fist and just kind of like shake with anticipation, like but as soon as somebody gives her the go ahead, she's just gonna do the thing that cats do and like rub her cheeks on it and but not yet, just until she has permission.
So behind you,
nice.
Indeed. Behind you, the doors slam shut, and a tomb-like silence falls over this hall. You hear the echoing footsteps of someone moving through the halls somewhere far above in one of the many floors of this building. But other than that, a shadowy silence falls upon everyone. How does everyone sort of take this being left alone in a throne room, supposedly on trial, but for what crimes you've yet to find out?
These things always work out fine. Not my first. not my fifth.
Stomach growls.
Is this like a two-tiered courtroom, like kind of like a
It doesn't appear to be a courtroom. However, there are almost places for a jury to sit. There are banks of benches that lead up on either side, but there is a throne as opposed to sort of a judge's panel. There are no pews. The whole floor is open. There are alcoves to the side which have doors set into them, and if you look carefully, you can see suits of armor or possibly guards standing there motionless. You're not entirely sure.
And do we still have all of our like original equipment and everything else?
No one has done a damn thing to search you or anything like that. You were just there.
All right, let's get this over with. I'm getting old here. And I just reach in, grab another grog of ale, just start downing it.
You drink heartily. No one comes to stop you. This
Ramsey like walks up to the throne and he kind of like looks at the guard and is like, "I'm gonna keep this warm until her beautifulness comes." And he like kind of like nuzzles up and like kind of puts his legs underneath him, kind of like a cat.
So Ramsey just goes and sits on this throne. Yeah, that's what happens. How does everyone else react to that? Because
oh my god, if Ramsey can touch it, I can touch it!
Wait, Ramsey's the king or the queen?
Plot twist.
Yeah. This whole time.
Someone brings out Ramsey's crown and places it upon.
It's impressive. Ramsey, I think they're a little bit touchy about that whole thing. Might wanna,
All right. And he like hops off and he like walks over to Finbar. It's like, it's all right. It's all right. When her beautifulness comes, everything will be worked out.
How does it feel, Ramsey?
It feels like a golden chair.
I've never felt a golden chair before in my entire life. When her beautifulness comes, can you ask her for me? Because it kind of seems like you're a friend or something. I don't know, because I don't get mad at you. But can you just ask them if I can, like, touch it?
We'll see.
Thanks, I love you.
Already deals are being struck. This is
Game of Thrones level shit.
Indeed.
The backstabbing Gorham.
Indeed. The idea that you just see like a little finch, like Ramsey, his little finger, always conniving and cunning in the background. So yeah, you guys are sort of like trying to figure out what is going on, talking about the throne and such, and suddenly there is a loud clunk as a door opens and 3 figures step out. They come in and there are smaller chairs either side of the throne. They're not particularly impressive. They're very simple. And 3 figures come out, one of whom is wearing quite regal clothing. And she steps out and sits on the throne. The other 2 take a stand in front of the chairs, but they're not seated. They look out to you. They look around, sort of like surveying the room. And seem to conclude that you guys are alone, and this is it. And the Queen is staring Finbar down. Hardcore. The intensity is there.
Okay.
Roll me a history check, Finbar. Let's see what you remember about what you did.
What did you do? It's hazy, I think. 11.
An 11. You remember something about an urn. You remember something.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not
You
good.
remember something about rushing through corridors here. And you remember a voice screaming, Finbar!
It's all coming back to me a little bit. This is all bad. It's all bad. Hello, Your Majesty.
Be seated, she says. There are no chairs.
On what?
Pookie just sits down on the ground like she's told.
She sort of nods to Pookie. Well trained, that one. What of you, dwarf? Are you house trained?
He's basically already sitting down, I mean.
I just give you a kind of a side glare. I elf? No, not so much. I can prove it to you if you wish, but this floor looks rather pretty and dry. Maybe you could spare a stool for an old man.
I don't think she has any stools, honestly, Visgard. Not a big
Like,
fan of stools.
One of the two figures with them goes to take the chair. They're like, oh, I have a chair here for that. She's like, no. You may sit on the floor that you are so accustomed to. It's sort of stone flag in places. It's quite nice. It's quite impressive the fact that they managed to get these slabs up here in the first place. But she gestures for you to sit.
I just keep leaning on my walking staff.
Okay. She glances over, sees Ramsey. She smiles.
What's up, your beautifulness? Don't worry, I got my own chair. And he pushes over Shallot to where he's on his hands and knees, and he sits on Shallot.
She smiles, sort of. It's a little bit of a cold smile. Ramsey would understand, as much as it's nice to meet up and see old friends and sort of catch up and chew the chaff, as it were. She's very agitated. Something has quite clearly perturbed her to quite a large degree. Something's really got under her skin, and she only manages a brief smile and that sort of catching the eyes. You sort of have that sort of old friends meeting up, having known each other for years, and sort of you have that conversation just with your eyes, how's things, yeah, okay, sort of, yeah, back to glaring at Finbar. It's intense. So, you have returned to the scene of the crime, Finbar.
Well, as mentioned, this is a trial, so we yet to see if I am guilty, or if indeed a crime has been committed, for I do not remember what happened. Something about an urn, and someone screaming my name. Usually, I would associate that with a woman. Was it you? Did we? Did you?
Did we what?
Did I? I'm trying to get a read. It's just.
You're down that 20 right about now.
Yeah. 19.
19. Not bad. I mean, not bad. Whatever it is, it's definitely, you didn't sleep with each other. And it looks like suggesting that has really liked her she's not happy at all. But something actually triggers in you remember you needed to pee. Really badly.
Oh. No.
Charlotte looks up at Finbar and says, What'd you do?
You know when ashes are meant to be scattered across the seas?
Yeah, did you put him in the wrong spot?
No.
She has basically almost torn one of the jewels out of her armrest at this point.
No. More so, I provided the sea.
I let a giant laugh and go, ha! Seems like I'm not the only one that's not housebroken.
Oh no, that's not very nice.
All this is going around. Shala just kind of stares out into oblivion. He's like,
Oh. Oh.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll get you out of here.
Ramsey might know something. Having known the Queen, knowing that they get along quite well, Ramsey would know that the Queen didn't used to rule. The King used to rule. Unfortunately, he passed away.
So Ramsey like sits there and he has his like hooves crossed and like, you know, arms like this, legs are like crossed and stuff, and he's like, oh no, you didn't. You did not decide to urinate in old Eobard's urn.
She literally breaks the armrest and just points an accusatory finger at Finbar. What does the defense have to say?
I look to my defense. Come on, crack legal team.
Shallot like stands up. He did not urinate in that urn.
I think I did. I mean, I can't be sure, but I think I did.
Shallot like goes like.
Yes.
And Shallot's like, okay. We have the urn that he actually urinated in.
She cocks her head.
We do.
She leans in. What on earth are you talking about?
We found the urn.
Stop saying we. Have you no respect?
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but he found the urn that he urinated in. I have it right here behind Ramsey. And he goes behind Ramsey and like pulls off a chunk of fleece. Ow, Shallot, come on. And he starts whispering to himself, and he's like, I know this one. And he begins to cast Phantasmal Force on the Queen to hopefully trick her into thinking that there is an actual urn right here.
Okay. Roll me Phantasmal Force. I need to know what I'm making the save for.
You make a... Hold on, I have it. You must make an intelligent saving throw.
Oh dear. Okay.
She has a plus 20.
No. But she, yeah. The thing is, she's a. Oh no, she's not. She's not a wood elf. She's a high elf. So I'm not going down. So right, cool. What's your spell save? What's she got to be?
You have to beat. Let's see. Wizard 14.
14. So a 14 or more.
Oh.
So did she see through it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So you pull forth an urn. It's what? Explain, Shallot. What has gone like dramatically wrong with this urn that you've created?
He pulls it up and he fabricates it and stuff, and it looks like a perfect urn of the king, but as he hands it to the Queen to inspect, it wasn't fully formed, so it just kind of like phases right through her hand, clips through the floor, and just keeps falling and falling and falling and falling.
And as it does, like the contents of it, just like onions, just fall out everywhere, all over the floor. Just phantasmal onions roll in every direction. And you just hear screams from downstairs as it will fall down, and someone like dives out of the way of an urn that falls towards them. Yeah. So you're now standing there holding nothing in your hand.
Did the Queen actually see like everything just kind of melt away, or?
Yeah, she was like reaching out to take it, and it's just
Oh
like, both of them
dear.
are now holding air, and she is just burning holes in Charlotte.
It was a
So
magic.
Pookie just all of a sudden goes, see, his pee was so strong that the urn was destroyed.
Yes.
And so it couldn't have been your urn.
Exactly. The fortitude of my urine is of such a veracity that no mere urn could stand up to such a force.
Charlotte's like, all right, I have an argument for what just happened. Finbar couldn't have been here at the time of the urination because he was getting married to a giant red hairy vortex. I've seen it myself, and I have sources to confirm it. He points to the other two. These are our witnesses to the giant hairy vortex.
She rounds on both Pookie and Visgar. She glares to you both. What say you in his defense?
It
Like,
was
was he-
great, Harry.
I really liked her dress. She had a very, very, very nice dress, and I assume she wanted to have this really nice dress because the rest of her wasn't very nice. But you know, she was just born that way. It wasn't her fault, and I'm sure she's really lovely on the inside.
She is one of those great personality types.
And she has a great fashion sense.
Roll me. Right, one of you can roll me a persuasion, and one of you can roll. One of you can roll to give advantage, and one of you can make the roll. So pick between the two of you who's gonna make the actual roll.
How is your persuasion, bro?
It's a +1.
Okay, let me see what mine is. I actually don't know. I have to check real quick. That's not what I wanted. My character sheet vanished on me. I'm sorry.
Crack legal team.
There we go.
Exactly. We're formulating our defense right now.
Yeah. Let's see. So my persuasion is a +3. So
Wow, yeah, you get that.
okay, I will try to persuade her, and you
Visgar,
will give me my advantage.
Visgar, roll to roll a what's it called a persuasion, and let's see if you can give her advantage.
Oh,
Not terrible.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
roll with advantage, Pookie. A
okay.
persuasion check to convince them of the red hairy vortex.
All right.
A 20.
Wow.
You describe it in such vivid detail that the queen sort of like, no more. I mean, you were in the royal palace. You were speaking of things.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to go into such detail. I just remember everything.
Just like burned into your mind forever.
I'm sorry.
Charlotte looks at the queen and points to the bags under his eyes. I've seen into the vortex, and it was not good.
The vortex looked back.
Does the defense rest? She says.
Actually, I'm not that tired.
No, doesn't mean that you're done arguing.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
Very well. Now, I bring forth the prosecution. And a man, a literal executioner, like walks out into the room, along with another man who brings forth an urn. She points to the urn, and this urn is made of a finely carved wood. It looks like it's carved from a single large branch, and has been hollowed out, and it fits together almost like a jigsaw puzzle. And there is a face carved into it. It's an elven face. It looks slightly forlorn. Ramsey would recognize this as sort of a mimicry, a facsimile of what looks to be the late departed king. And she places it down, and she says, "Here we are, then. My late
Object.
husbands." She sort of stops. Objection!
Objection.
Are you wearing a blue suit with a red tie?
Yeah.
my robes and my little ascot kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Objection, Your Honor. That was not provided to me in my disposition. Inadmissible. He's trying to.
That evidence is inadmissible. He's right.
She looks towards like her the one of her advisors, and she sort of like says,
I was not provided knowledge of that urn. I've never seen that urn. I cannot build an argument around it if I did not know the urn. It is inadmissible. So says the law. And he's like trying to persuade her with like all this like throwing.
All the buzzwords.
roll me a persuasion check. Roll me to convince them not to go get the actual book and just take your word for it.
I'm going to use my nat 20 that I have.
You rolled your nat 20. She's just like, her face looks so forlorn. She looks so angry, and she just says, right, you know what then? Fine. And she stands up and she says, I am queen here, and I get to choose the law is. And I say, and she rips off the lid of this urn. She says that this here is proof enough, and she shows you an urn of ash. It is dry.
It's dry.
See, that would be proof if it was admitted to the court. It is not admitted, so you have no proof that my client ever urinated in that urn. Plus, it is dry.
Yes, do you have any eyewitness accounts?
She looks down. She looks confused. She turns to one of her advisors and says, explain yourself. And the guard sort of comes forth and says, I saw him. He was standing there, and he was urinating.
You framed me.
The urn.
You cur. You have impugned my honor. I charge thee with this crime.
And Finbar, it comes crashing back suddenly. You remember getting very drunk in this town. You remember stumbling through the streets. You remember
Did we do it together?
A brothel that was promised to you, and you remember then stumbling out in the night and trying to find somewhere. Vaguely murky corridors, large doors, and suddenly you were in someone's bed chambers, and you remember the queen in her nightgown and just having to pee, and the only thing that was available nearby was the urn, and she said she was just ranting and raving at you, and you just remember thinking, I can't pee in front of this woman. I can't just get my todger out and just, it would be so embarrassing. So you ripped off the lid of this urn, but like most drunk men, could you hit your target? No. You peed across everything in the room, bar this urn. It appears you have been saved by a male's inability to hit the bowl, as it were.
Good. See?
But you were the only one who remembers, so if you want to try and frame this...
Oh, yes, no, entirely. That's entirely what I want to do. You cur! You have impugned my honor, knowing that I was the most famous bard in all of the lands. You thought that it would be easy, didn't you? Yes, you little elf. Well, I am not so easily framed, good sir, for I will frame ye back. I mean, not frame ye, but I will blame ye back instead.
Shallot puts his hand on Finbar. Would you like to file a lawsuit against this woman?
Only if she does not allow me back into her kingdom.
Okay.
Or if she does, and she retracts her, frankly, hurtful words, then I will see to it that I can let it go, I guess. But if for some heathen reason that man there is not punished for his crime by death or some other similarly appropriate punishment, then I will file a lawsuit.
Send him to the dwarven mines, and the man just looks crestfallen, like absolutely. You hear the sound of his heart splintering into 1,000 pieces, and he just looks, Your Majesty, no, please, and you just watch as he's dragged from the room screaming, no, and and she turns and she says, she rounds back on Finbar and she says, well, be that as it may, you admit that you missed. Is that it? Is that your defense?
No, I admit to no such things. I admit to nothing.
you're accusing him of peeing in an urn that you have no proof that he peed in the urn.
Correct.
So he just came in and peed on the floor.
Why-
Is that it?
Why would I do such a thing?
Yeah, why would he do such a thing? Do you
That's-
have proof that he peed on the floor?
You have the floor.
No, but I have.
Does
a
the
particularly
is the floor a, is the floor a witness? Can we get the floor in here now? No. Exactly.
Yes.
Wait,
She
wait.
points to the floor.
Damn it.
One floor.
Damn it. You got me there.
Stretches everywhere.
Then I say to you, good queen, and I am no more guilty than... What's something that's not guilty? No more guilty than the horse
She says,
outside.
I happen to have. What horse?
I don't know, any horse. Any horse that would urinate in a stable. The world is my stable. And I am a horse of the world. A horse of the
A
ages.
horse of the ages.
Yes.
She looks to you and she says, I am willing to allow this to pass on the agreement that you are never to step foot within our city again.
I'll do you one better, Your Majesty. And he like pulls out like this paper and he starts writing and he walks up to her. This is a legal binding restraining order saying that you're not allowed to be within 500 feet of my client. And he slips it to her.
I'm afraid you're going to have to move your kingdom. That way.
You're in kind of his personal space.
Yeah, you are within 500 feet of my client now.
Now where's that urn?
If you do not move, I'm going to have to report you to the guard that you're in violation of this legally binding restraining order.
She looks to the executioner. She looks like she's weighing it up. He sort of shrugs.
He's like, oh, no.
She's like, remove these people and make sure Finbar settles his tab at the local brothel before he leaves.
Now that's an entirely different legal case, which I will win as well. I owe these ladies nothing.
As the 20 elven guards who have sort of been standing in the alcoves quietly are all going to stride out and move towards you to surround you, as you are being forcibly ejected from this palace, unfortunately.
Good.
Ha! I've never sat down. How's that feel, Queen?
Ah,
Stab that one for me.
Oh,
one of
damn
them
it.
is going to try and stab. Do you defend against the stabbing?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
let's happen. Fuck 'em.
What's your armor class?
I think right now at the 13. Not the greatest.
13. Okay,
Ooh.
cool. On a 17, you're going to take. This is going to be halved because it's only a half-hearted sort of stabbing. It's not like a full-on.
A
Just
full-on
like
stab.
poking
Move
you in
on.
the side, like.
Ooh.
So you can take 4 piercing damage as a glaive is sort of like jabbed into you.
I just fill the room with dwarven like expletives.
And you are rushed out, and as you leave, you guys sort of Finbar, roll me a perception check. Actually, everyone roll me a perception.
Perception check.
Perception, you said.
Why? Why, of course. 16.
22.
Wow, everyone will see this. You kind of come out, and it's sort of like you're standing by the palace. Okay, you're there, and as you are standing there, you look off to one side, and sort of like you're surveying the area, seeing where's to be going. You're still being escorted by the guards, but there is a trellis. Everyone's familiar with what a trellis is.
Yes.
Like that, the vine sort
Wooden
of
trellis.
yeah. You have a wooden trellis that's sort of attached to the side of the palace, and vines are growing up it. It's a beautiful decoration. About 2/3 of the way up, leading towards the upper floors of this palace, stuck, wedged even, in the wood, is a single red stiletto.
Hey, look! It's that shoe!
Oh my goodness. I must go to Latrellis.
Just roll me a dex save just to make it through the guards as you take flight.
Okay. We'll keep going, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a bit tired, guys. I've been working 18 hours days all week, and it's caught up with me today.
Can Pookie assist him?
How are you gonna assist him? Sort of sneak.
Just kind of maybe give him an advantage because, like, he sees a shoe, I see the shoe, he wants to go to the shoe, and he's trying to go through. Just like Pookie, in like her massiveness, just kind of like
we all see the
moves the guards for him.
We all see the shoe. Could we just like break out in like a strangely choreographed musical number?
Roll me a performance check.
It's like we don't get along, but we have planned one thing. The fucking musical.
roll me a performance. Roll me a 20. It's damn. You guys rehearsed. So roll me an athletics, Pookie.
Oh, I'm athletics. That's the wrong thing. 1 second.
That's all right. That's cool.
There we go.
So Pookie manages to muscle back the crowd as suddenly you guys break out into a number. I want to hear the name of the song. Just the name of the song. Any lyrics will give you bonus points.
The winner takes it all.
No one is singing this same song.
The winner takes it all.
Magically pull out a lute and start strumming along.
So everyone starts singing a completely different song, and in the chaos, Finbar manages to break out. In fact, no, it's better than that. It's as you guys are doing it, there's a dance routine going on behind you, and Pookie does the lift and lifts Finbar up, and then she sort of jazz hands, and no one notices that Finbar never returns. Finbar just goes up and never comes down again. Finbar, you were sort of lodged like a cat. You just sort of like grappled hold of the trellis, and there is a stiletto shoe attached to the trellis, about a couple of feet away.
I will reach onto it.
You reach up and you grab hold of this, and as you do, you suddenly have this vivid sort of, it comes back at like a wash. You remember both of you climbed up and you drank on the rooftop of this, and you remember you had a long conversation. You were drinking with the Galgatron. She was there. She was missing a shoe at this point. You were giggling. You were having a good time. And you vaguely remember her saying something about coming back to your place.
My place?
Indeed.
Do I have a room here?
No. Roll me an intelligence check, Finbar.
Oh dear, this is my weakest area.
Indeed.
18.
Somehow, Finbar, through the haze of it, suddenly remembers. You remember it all. You suddenly remember you met her in the cave. You were chatting to her in the cave. The elves came rushing through, and she pressed her body against you into the alcove. The elves came rushing past, and in that moment, you embraced in a kiss. And you remember losing control. You remember rushing forth down the river, evading the elves, but they herded you back into their territories. Not knowing what she looked like, you reasoned you could probably walk into town. You tried to find the tavern, but instead found the ladder. You made your way up. You went to a local brothel. She was game for many a thing. She was the perfect wench. You got very drunk. You had some curious herb. You stumbled off wildly into the night. You climbed onto the palace somehow, and there atop the palace, you struck a deal with her that you would come home, and you would bring her with you. She would return to the village she torched, but she would return with you. It suddenly dawns on you that you never made it back, but she might have.
Wait.
Galgatron might be loose in Realport.
Wait. No. No. No.
And on that, as you are suddenly very much noticed by the guards, you guys are all going to be forced out of the city with heavy news that you might have abandoned the town to the Galgatron.
Oh, God.
And on that news, I'm afraid, on that wild escapade, it is time to end. Traumatic.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh man.
Gas.
Well, my friends, that is what happened. Finbar's wild bender. And now we're going to go find her. Oh, man. I don't even know her name. Oh, so much more. So much more to find out next week, my friends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Wow. I hope you guys are excited to find out what happens next. I know I certainly am. But yes, let's go around to cast and crew. Do we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? And as Simone plugs and stuffs. The reason why I'm so tired today is because I've been up all night, all hours this week working on our Kickstarter, which launches this Monday. So Breath of Gore coming soon, my friends. But yeah, let's go to Josh. Josh, you know the dealio here.
Cool. So, yeah, it's been a day. We had The Hangover, which was cool. Watching Finbar sort of drunkenly trying to record all the crazy shit that happened. And I'm not saying that things are going to continue to crop up along your drunken escapades in various other episodes, but it's entirely possible. There is still a pig out there somewhere that is owed a shallot that he was cheated from, so expect that to come back to bite you in the proverbial butt. And yeah, it's going to be wonderful. So thank you guys for coming along playing. I'm glad. I had an absolute blast. We'll do loads of plugs for everyone. I will be back next Monday for Middle Earth. Oh my god, it's shaped up. If you haven't noticed with all the Lord of the Rings quotes we've snuck into this episode, we are so hyped. It's been so much fun. And if you guys want to see what Middle Earth would be like if maybe the ring fell to other people, maybe alternative history set just after the Hobbit, before the great Fellowship of the Ring is formed and before all of that jazz happens, what if we introduced some player characters into the world and they totally change history? That is what we are looking at, which is amazing, and I'm super looking forward to it. And also on Tuesday, I will be back running the Long March, where we are going to kick off immediately with the party caught between a rock and a hard place, an army advancing behind them. Not enough time to warn them of the ambush that they're running into, and a void-like creature of shapeless, inky blackness staring at them. And they have stared into its mouth, and they have seen the abyss, for it crushes all lights and draws in all matter. So that's going to be fun for them.
So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. If you want to find the full schedule, you can find it there, my friends, on the website, as well as the recaps as to what happened this week on the season finale week. Sorry, season beginning week. Haha. Let's go to Zippy Zippo. There we go.
Hey guys, my name is Zippy Zippo. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I do a lot of tabletop role-playing games. I do one over at Henley's channel, where I play Graham Weatherfields in Mouse Guard. I really enjoy coming to Encounter Roleplay because they're always so welcome. I love messing around with Will and Josh and stuff. I go live every weekday around 8, except for Tuesdays. I take off, and I think tonight I'm going to take off too. But other than that, every weekday at 8. So awesome, fantastic. Let's go to Valdrianth.
Hey guys, thank y'all for having me. My name is Valdrianth. I'm also a variety streamer here on Twitch. I was kind of on a Twitch vacation. I do mostly trash JRPGs, and I paint characters from trash RPGs. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in those things, that's what I do. Awesome.
And last but not least, Brian.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. This was awesome. I'm Brian Dixon, a.k.a. Atomic Zero, one of the co-founders of AddictedToLoot.com. We primarily focus on a weekly PC gaming podcast, as well as we do Twitch streams at Twitch/AddictedToLoot, as well as we put on some YouTube videos. Actually just been reviewing some indie games. So we cover just about anything under the sun. So if that sounds intriguing to you, check us out at addictedtoloot.com.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us again for a new season of Tricks of the Trade. We'll see you guys again on Sunday. I may get a chance to stream on Friday, but honestly, I think I'm just going to be catching up on so much sleep and then working more on a Kickstarter, so you probably won't see me online tomorrow, but definitely back on Sunday for our usual schedule of shows. So we're Sunday through Thursday every week here at the moment, and sometimes on Fridays. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and until next time, try not to throw too many net ones, because we want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye!